I'm an artist. Get me out of here. You could at least smash that thumbs up button. I like to add some colour to my knobs, just so I can get some better reception. Oh no. It might be a good time to start the stream.
Can't see any Technic around me, so I'm alright.
At least I know the sound's working.
Yeah, that's how it always starts. But then later there's running and screaming.
Hello, everybody!
You know, it could be wrong, but Harry Potter is important.
His name is in the title. Maybe a bit strange if he's not in there.
I thought they smell funny, but not that I sniffed my Lego.
You know, the voice where you can change the pitch of your voice. I went, oh yeah. When he's in the toilet.
It's definitely for kids and so on, or Nicole. But
I've done this much.
I think it needs water.
Oh.
you know, going from the Home Alone set to this is like being kicked in the nuts while standing on Lego bricks barefooted. You know, that's about it.
I built him. Partners about ecologists, so he was like, I need to have all the bat stuff.
That's why your camera was upside down.
Yes.
No, it's just painful. But what's worse is the set was missing a wheel. So look, it's just got two front teeth there.
I thought you hadn't finished it.
You know, whenever anyone gets your Lego set now, it's going to be Technic.
That is amazing. Mech looks like an angel.
Good evening and welcome along to Family Bricks Livestream number 49 of this season, which this season is now the penultimate episode. Get into that in a little bit. Welcome along to everybody else out there who on Thursday night we get together, have a little bit of chat at Lego and other building construction bricks and all that sort of thing. I'll have some people will come in very, very shortly. Usual social media buttons around share, like and subscribe. Shout out to the replay gang, Brian's Bricks, who's commenting again. Always appreciate the comments. And if you want to shout out, then just comment around the video. And the next one, I'll give you a shout out. It's pretty straightforward with that. And with that, I've got a quick little poll. We've announced some Star Wars ships during the week and just sort of seeing how people are reacting to it. Yes, my money's already spent. Okay, I'll wait for a sale. Meh, not my thing. And look, over there, squirrel. And with that, I want to just get into the panel and everything tonight because got people in and out and it might be a little bit of a busy night. So before we do that, just give the sponsor a quick little plug. This video is brought to you by McCatsim Holiday Homes in Margate and Broadstairs. Great for a week's holiday or a weekend escape, being just over an hour east of London, UK. Treat yourself to amazing sunsets, a Lego wall, or great food. Visit www.macatsim.com and mention this YouTube video and we'll look after you. And so with that, I think that's most of the things. Just shouting out to a few people seen out there in the chat. Redmond there, good to see you along. TJ, great to see you there. I have given you a link. I'm not sure whether you're still just eating or something like that. And with that, I'll start bringing everyone in. A couple of our regulars. We have in Martin and Chris and Nicole. How are we all going this evening?
All good, thank you.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, good to have everyone in. So everyone's sort of looking bright and cheerful, which is good at that. Everything there. I'm just seeing TJ doesn't have a link. Could I get one of you guys to send TJ a link just on Instagram? I thought I'd send it across to him. So, and with that, because of sort of winding this all up, and we'll get into that a little bit later on in next stream, so number 50, I thought would be a good one to wrap it up with. Bringing back some people who've appeared over the last year. And with that, I'm going to be bringing in Fred from Hillians Bricks, and also somebody from the very first episode, Mr. Solo the Brit Builder. How are you all going, guys?
We're good. All good. Good evening.
Excellent. And So Solo's in the purple room or something. This is a new.
I'm in a purple room today with a breakthrough. I got those seasons all wrong. It's meant to be Halloween, but yeah.
Only a couple of months out, or a little bit early, because I don't think it's early enough for Easter, which that would be kind of strange anyhow. And for anyone who also doesn't know, Fred has, I think, he's a Bricklink seller in the UK and possibly one of the largest, getting up in the top 20 of ones that sell in the UK. But his thing has always been not so much about size, but making sure you got stock turnover and everything. So, how's it going, Fred?
Yeah, all good. It's good to be back on here. So I've been keeping an eye out once in a while every Thursday night. I was like, oh, got to remember Matt's on. So it's good to see you guys. And I must also admit, I know that Tech's on here a couple of times, and I bumped into him once at the Brighton Lego store. I was like, hey, you don't know me, but I know you.
He'd appreciate that too. Yeah. And I've just had a couple of other people who also popped in. So welcome along to somebody whose name comes from the fact that they don't know how to spell it properly. That's TJ. And
hello.
Mnrk. I meant to bring in the other TJ over here. Yeah, that's and we have one other really special guest who also was on the first episode and hasn't been around for quite some time. Mr. BFAB, how are we going?
Hey guys. Bloody BFAB. I'm out.
Oh, I'm sorry to ruin your life.
You all right, sweetie?
Just living life. How you doing, Solo? I'm glad you can finally afford some
I'm doing beautiful, baby. I'm doing beautiful.
And then just seeing also too, Brett Skills jumped into the chat there. Good to see you there. So here we all are. It's almost like a Brady Bunch. It's got sort of happening there, everything. So I don't know who wants to kick things off. Any sort of we've had quite a number of leaks and everything go around. I think maybe start off with TJ, and I'll get it right this time. We've seen one of the ones which has been linked. I'm trying to remember the exact name. Dragonstone Temple.
Yeah, the Dragonstone Shrine. Yeah,
that was a pretty sort of amazing design. Yeah.
It's definitely going to appeal to a wider audience than just Ninjago. But unlike the modulars, you don't have to spend several hundred to get it, just 120.
The box it comes in is quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
And if I'm wrong, isn't the second gift with purchase, hasn't that been revealed today?
Yeah, that's leaked. That's leaked somewhere, so.
Yeah.
No, there's been quite a number of sort of leaks which come through. It feels like another crazy busy week. It's so many things, particularly in the last couple of hours as well. With all that, so sort of having a look. And Redmond's come across to YouTube, so it's easier. Oh, cool. And so with that, I might just sort of check in with everyone. I know Solos can only stick around for a little bit. So how's things going in Solo Brit world?
Yeah. Work, sleep, shout at kids, sleep, rave, repeat, blah, 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 blah. Just great. Yeah. Whoever said it was a good idea to have kids, you're lying.
Yeah, but you have to also take some responsibility after you had one.
I take no responsibility. I still need to get them DNA tested. I swear they're not mine. No. I had a book firing at me a couple of days ago for me saying to my missus a couple of days, just a little, but I put that out there. Yeah, it's been an interesting couple of weeks, to put it that way. Chasing around 2 bloody gerbils around the house as well. That was great fun. That was,
Are you using that as a euphemism, or you mean that for real?
No, that was for real. You when you wake up 5 o'clock in the morning, you get yourself ready to go to work, and then you find that your daughter's snuck downstairs, got through the stair gate, and knocked the gerbil cage all over the floor, and they escaped. And 6 hours of my life wasted there chasing around gerbils around my house. That was that's something I'm never going to forget. When she gets married, I'm going to make her life hell.
Just release a plague of gerbils at a wedding.
Gerbils, rats, guinea pig. Oh, it's going off. Oh, yeah. Say I wanted a throttler to the moon is raw.
Bit of an understatement.
It's been barrels of laughs. Barrels of laughs.
Cool. It's, have you seen? There's some jokes where parents turn up to their teenagers, like school and things like that, dressed in like dinosaur costumes and things.
Oh, I'm absolutely doing that. Yeah, I am. I am prepared to embarrass my kids. 100%. 100%. I'm even looking at what kind of costumes to even buy as well. I'm planning on turning up to a noddy at one point as well. I am going all out.
You gotta get a full like maid costume, you know?
Anything. I am willing to spend big bucks on this kind of stuff because that little one in there. They look cute on the outside. On the inside, just pure hatred. Mostly for me.
Oh my God. You can get to the teenagers.
PSA for kids.
Save the kids? No, save the bloody parents. God, no way.
My wife
set
and I
that
were
charity up.
My wife and I were talking the other day about, when we're going to have children. Might tell her tonight I'm not going to bother.
Yeah.
I'm only 21 years old. Look at me. You shouldn't be laughing at it. You're going to be crying.
Wait a minute. You didn't start streaming when you were a minor, did you?
I was only 8 when I started streaming it.
It looks like it has aged perfectly. So, and might just take a sort of quick spin around, see what everyone's sort of building or sort of mocking or whatever it is. Sort of start off. Mnrk, you want to kick us off?
I can do. So I have dug out all of my minifigures, my collectible minifigures. I've got hundreds and hundreds of them that were all bagged up. And they've been bagged up since I moved, which is nearly 2 years ago. And I've got a cabinet you can't see it over there, that's all lit up that I've been meaning to sort them out and get them in there. Because they've just literally been in a Ziploc bag, just literally hundreds of them. So I'm just sorting through them now. But I've got, all the different collectible minifigure series ones. So there's nothing wrong with my background. There's no Lego.
There's no Lego.
There isn't any Lego. There's Animal Crossing, soon to be Lego. There you go.
Yep, there. I think also, people giving that. And found any Sonic sets yet?
Yes, yeah. So I bought the Shadow bike a couple of days ago. So I've got my first Sonic set, but I want to get them all. But I don't want to pay full price for some of them. I love the sets, but the price for some of them, ridiculous for what you get.
No, it is, and it's the sort of thing where not necessarily getting things at retail full price yet. Certainly waiting for a good discount to come along.
Yeah, I 100% want all the figures though. Every single one of them. I want to complete the figures.
Oh, yeah. Amazing figures.
Yeah.
Excellent. And TJ, what are you sort of? Are you working more on your mock, or you've actually got a set spider tank?
Yeah, I'm working on the spider tank. Yeah.
After that, I might
dismantle a couple sets. Yeah, I've got this and this to dismantle as well. Some of the crystallized sets. So.
Oh, cool. And is that just for parts, or are you running out of space? Or
no, I'm running out of space. I'm way out.
Usually, yeah, Lego problem.
And I'm gonna have even less space once the March sets come out. So
already preempted. Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. And not that we can see, but BFAB. What will you be doing?
Hey guys.
There is no way you look like that anymore.
No.
Literally last year at Chicago, oh no, 2 years ago, first thing somebody said to me is like, oh, that photo must have been taken a couple years ago. I'm like, dang it.
Yeah, try 7 years ago. There's a few grey hairs starting to form up there.
Yeah, I love this photo. I got to keep using this one. I'll use it when I'm like 50 years old, you know?
Okay. The master thinker. Something.
No, he's just working out to open up the door. Oh, don't read too much.
Speaking of which,
what am I working on? Nothing. I'm staring out a window and I'm all lonely, so yeah.
You with the
you've got us, Deepak, don't worry.
Thank you. Thank God.
Well, maybe that's why he's staring out the window. So, oh Jesus, what was I thinking? And along to the partner in crime, Solo. What are you sort of contemplating life? Anything sort of building?
I'm always contemplating life. That's always a thing. No, I mean, as you know, I'm Cobi and Lego building, so got plenty of Cobi sets down here yet need to polish off at the moment. But did finish the Venator, UCS Venator a couple of weeks ago, so that was a nice little Christmas present from myself to myself. So no one was ever going to buy that. So, no, I've got plenty of things down here. I've got plenty of things to do. I've still got HMS Warspite down here to finish yet. So hence why if anyone's thinking these are real Lego sets, they're not. They're Cobi sets. So yeah, got plenty of those
we
to
can't
finish
see
off
them
there.
anyways. The lighting is distorting it. So you know.
I know it's pretty terrible. Get over it. I've been streaming in a long time. Give me a break.
We also have those sort of issues, but yeah, I was thinking of that too when you said that. It's sort of like, yeah, you're not really particularly highlighting them well. So is that meant to be, or is that...
they're shadows? They're shadows at the moment. Yeah, no, I haven't got the lighting right.
It's okay, you know.
There's nothing embarrassing about it, mate. I'm proud to show them all off, but yeah, they're all green, so a green with a red background is not my price.
Okay, you're still my top 10 favorite, top 100, top 1,000 favorite people. You know.
At least I'll make the top 1,000. I'm going to go with that. So.
It's on BFAB's top 1,000. Woohoo! Yay!
You know, that's an accomplishment, I think.
Excellent. And just with that, I've seen somebody else has just popped in, so this will give us a full house. Hopefully, somebody else in particular really was great to have in when we were doing a lot of the Ahsoka recaps. How are you going, Amberlia?
Amberlia!
Hello.
That was me screaming.
Hi there. Everything's working. Really it's been so long. Like I don't know if everything works still.
Well, you got picture and you got sound, so that's a pretty good start.
Yeah.
I do feel like a bit like the Brady Bunch now.
Yeah.
You're one panelist too many too late. Like when you have the 3x3 grid as opposed to
here. So it still works. It's widescreen version.
Yeah. And with that, just keep going. To get there, Fred, what are you sort of building anything, pulling anything apart, or?
I've been building the Viking village, but it's kind of been put on hold a bit for the last couple of weeks. And I tell you, it's not good having a puppy in the house who seems to love Lego minifigures for some reason, and he keeps going after them. So all my Lego is kind of like held up high at the moment, even on my desk. And I
trade 2 kids for your puppy.
Yeah, I got 2 kids and a puppy, so yeah, in about 10 minutes I should be telling the kids to go to bed as well, so I might have to drop off temporarily, but then I hope they're in bed and I've got a drink ready, so I'm all good to go. So yeah, I've got plenty of Lego sets to build. I've got behind me the El Dorado Fortress I want to build. I still got the Concorde, although my son's already built that one. I've got another one I want to build as well. And motorized lighthouse. I never seem to get around to it.
Oh, nice.
It's just to get there. And I mean, maybe I just haven't been paying too much attention, but do you have new glasses? I don't remember them having like gold rims.
No new glasses.
Okay.
just a reflection. Maybe it's a new light in here. That might be what.
The lighting.
Yeah.
going to say your Bricklink's been doing so well that you've now upgraded to the gold.
I wish that was true. No, but yeah, I have been busy, but yeah, more on another platform.
Cool. And just what you said, puppy. What sort of puppy is it?
Well, he's now 11 months old. It's a golden retriever. He is massive.
Oh,
he's huge. He's 40 kilos, so he's a big beast.
I sort of look at it, my kids, and they're like, they're not quite teenagers, but getting close, and they're not that. Like,
yeah, my kids are about 38 and like 35 kilos, and they're like, they just about the same weight as him, and he just bundles them over. So it's interesting.
Not completely out of the way.
Yeah, the biggest challenge is now when the postman comes and he puts a delivery through the letterbox, and if it's Lego minifigures, he goes for them. I've found it a couple of times already. On the staircase is like the padded envelopes completely open, and all minifigures everywhere. Half of them chewed. I'm like, well, that was worth it.
Yeah.
So I've already had to buy a new letterbox to actually hang outside the door and not through the letterbox through the door anymore. So yeah, don't have a dog, or at least have a little one.
So you've only got another 10-15 years to deal with that. No, that's good.
They keep telling me when they're about 2 or 3 they calm down, so I'm clinging on to that.
They don't.
No, well, my kids are soon in teenage years, so I got that trouble ahead. So
everything all coming down at worse at once, and just seeing Amberlia's comment here. Cats are worse than my kiddo when it comes to Lego getting destroyed. Yeah, I think we had somebody else once pop over with their little puppy, and one of the kids had left the Mickey figure off his first Disney castle on the floor, and of course it went straight for the pants, which that piece by itself I think is about 10 pounds or something. It's like, of course, like never gonna be a cheap one.
If that happened to me, that person would not be invited back in the house again. I'm sorry, unless they I'm like, you're a friend, but do you understand what you've done?
Yeah.
There are limits here, yes.
Yeah. You're gonna buy me a new pair of legs for that figure?
Yeah. And cool. And just we got back here too. Amberlia, what are you sort of got anything planned to build, or are you just sort of trying to make sure that you've got everything working?
Is my sound working?
Yeah.
Okay. Because there was some.
Matt, there's a fake me in your chat. Can you ban it?
Sorry. Yep. I'll just go there.
Thanks.
Yep. Sorry, Amberlia. You.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Silence falls above the crowd. If you look carefully, you can actually see Matt thinking.
Sorry, just go over here. There we go. Sorry, you're saying, Amberlia, sort of.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Sorry, what
How was your morning?
Yeah.
Lego related, right? Like.
Yeah, sort of building, or what are you going to sort of be doing? Just
yes. So, the two big things that I've been doing, which are weird because they are not building related whatsoever. I have been 3D printing stands for my Lego, which you can see in the background here a little bit. And this is 100% TJ's fault. I have been watching Ninjago. And so my daughter and I have been catching up, and I am fully invested. I have a favorite ninja. I have a ninja I don't like. I have like the whole thing. And it's all TJ's fault. 100%.
We start burning him at the stake then. Let's go get him. Go on. I'll help you.
Yeah. No, it's all his fault. It's all his fault.
I really do need to make a T-shirt that says "Blame TJ." Between this and the Lego
I remember
flying
back in the day,
enabling.
you got to get me into Ninjago, and nah, I can't do it. I really can't.
Don't do it, because like then you get a couple episodes in and you're gone. That's it. You're done.
I have a mental capacity of one. It's either going to be Star Wars or Ninjago. Well, Star Wars is just taking on my head. So
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. I kind of concentrate on one thing at any given time. So
Cool. Just a couple of you guys I just went through and added in as mods. So if you see anything pop up weird in the chat, feel free to deal with it as appropriate.
Ban 'em!
All of a sudden, I'll disappear off the screen. Oh, okay. And with that, just trying to see who. I think Lady MacBrick. We hadn't sort of touched base with you to sort of see what you're up to this evening.
I am in honor of TJ.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yes.
And I have a question, because I know it's dangerous for me to ask, because I could go the same road down as Amberlia and end up watching Ninjago. Haven't done it so yet. Can you explain to me why this wolf mesh claw warrior is in every set plus magazines? Why are some? Is there only one wolf and they're in all of the sets? Are there many wolves and it's a gang of wolves? A wolf gang?
Yeah, it's like it's the army builder, basically. There's a bunch of these guys.
Okay.
And
great.
that's why they're scattered around the sets.
That's why. Because I was wondering if is it the same and now he's in every set and what's going on? He's cute. He's
what the hell have I just bought? That's what I was expecting.
He's a really cute wolf.
Yeah, they're great figs.
Oh, nice.
That's a good fig.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and speaking of good figs, she's amazing too.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
Zora.
hairpiece. That
Yeah.
hairpiece.
Yeah.
Such a good
I think my
hairpiece.
camera likes me better than the figure. Yeah, great
Yeah.
figure.
So, brilliant. Cool, excellent. It's good to see you with that. And I think Martin, did we sort of touch base with you?
Yeah.
What you're up to?
So I'm building the DB5 from
Yes.
Speed Champions. So yeah, thought I'd put that on tonight, and then if I get that finished, because Mark's here, I might do this little friend set as well.
Yes. Yes, Martin. Stop the car, build the poly bag.
Stop the car. Yeah, that's it. Well, if
No,
she's
I
like,
love
you know,
that. I love that Speed Champion set as well. I love that.
Who's
Aston
this
Martin.
one in this set?
That's Leanne.
Leanne. Is she of legal age? Because
popcorn.
you know she could. She
She's
could get picked up
legal
by-
age.
What
get
are
picked
you
up by,
going to do to your minifigs?
No,
I
no,
mean,
James
like-
Bond could pick her up. That's what I'm saying. You know,
Oh,
a bit of a
okay.
ladies' man.
Oh, no.
Oh no. Okay.
He might be able to drop her off at the parents' house, but nothing more
Oh,
than
right.
that.
Okay. Fair enough.
They do drive, so you know, in Lego Friends World, kids drive. Just just roll with it.
Just roll with
So, like, I know I haven't been catching up with the sort of soft reboot of Friends, but wow, what are they up to? Like,
Yeah, one's on the moon, and
Yeah. So you've got the 5 original friends. So one of them is a singer now, professional singer. One of them is a mum and is on a farm. Just loving animals. Then you've got one of them that is the mayor of the city now. Then you've got one of them that is an astronaut. and her sets have the little aliens, the same aliens that the Lego City Space sets have as well. So they've kind of done the crossover with the aliens. They're both the same. And then you've got the final Lego friend, and we think she's an artist now, a professional artist. There's not much known. She's kind of a little bit on the quiet side in terms of where she's coming, but they're bringing them back for this wave now. So they are back, but as adults instead of the Lego Friends children.
And I have to say that mansion is insane.
Oh,
It's gorgeous.
Which
Gorgeous.
one got with the mansion? Which job got the mansion? The astronaut.
No, not the astronaut, the singer.
The singer.
The professional singer. It'd be amazing if it was the astronaut, but no.
Yeah.
With that there. Yeah, dude, because Amberlia, were you building that on stream the other day, or am I confusing you with somebody else?
I wish. No, it wasn't me.
That
So
must be-
here's the interesting thing. I want it, and my daughter wants it. And so we're kind of in this battle to see like who gets wore down first to be like, okay, you can have it. So we're
I'll do the
waiting to
decision,
see.
mate.
Do it, buy it now, buy it.
Oh, there it is. If I buy it now, she's gonna. We have to have an agreement in place first.
The agreement is she won't know until you got it.
Okay, but she sees it, and then she's gonna be like, "Oh, can I build it?"
Right.
What time does she go to bed?
But
Secretly
Amberlia,
build at night until it's done.
But I have the perfect solution for you. My solution for myself and me is I bought that set, and you and your daughter, you will build the mansion, and while you build the mansion, you will distract her with and the tower.
Oh, okay.
I love both of those.
Nice boxes over there, look.
Beautiful. Oh
Yeah.
my
Bit of
gosh,
a
so
background
friends. So much
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
My life is full
We're
of
just
friends.
eyeing up the backlog. What have we got there? We've got the family reunion. We've got
One less microphone.
Yeah.
Cool. And I was sort of seeing, because I think Solo might have to get off in a little bit. That sounds wrong.
Unfortunately, so. My next guy.
Cabbage is sort of just querying if you're building that in inferior stuff, which I mean.
What, you talk about the Lego inferior stuff? Yeah, I've built some of that inferior stuff. Yeah.
I was going to say, sort of like, given I think every second video on Cabbage's channel these days is usually Cobi, and I think every other one is usually, oh, you can't park that there, mate, and it's usually like a tank in a weird position or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're really funny. They are really funny.
Good,
Yeah, but I mean, he does it in a couple of his videos. Got like, you know, these reels or whatever, got like 3-4 million views or something crazy. So
he's raking it in, baby. He's raking it in.
Excellent.
It's good fun though. They're good display pieces if you could ever see them, but yeah, they are.
Need to work on your lighting for next time or something.
There's no point because we might be moving house at some point again. So yeah, well, this was only ever going to be short term. This was only ever going to be short term because there was a few things behind the scenes that happened. So this was only ever going to be like two years at Mechs. So fingers crossed, I might actually have a room where I'll be able to, you know, do something. That's the plan. I'll be actually do something, but yeah, it's a bit too small. This is for me to.
There's one question I have to ask you though, Darren. The new room has to have a radiator because we need to know what's on your radiator every week.
Hold up with that radiator. There's no going to be. If I have a radiator, I will rip that bloody thing out.
Darren, what's
no
on
radiators in there? Absolutely
the
no. You can search around the house for a radiator. There's no radiators in there, unfortunately. So just a cupboard and my laptop to keep me warm.
Tiny electric one or something.
No. And no, I did not rebuild Barracuda Bay. I just put that in a bag and kind of left it there, to be honest. That set just makes me cry. It really does.
Does it make you cry as much as the car that you didn't get the gift for purchase for?
Yeah, let's not go into that. I did get that gift for purchase. I did get
you
that.
Did eventually. Yeah, you did
eventually. But to say I'm still salty about that is putting it mildly. Yeah, I'm still pretty angry about that, but I have no idea why, because I did end up getting 2 Porsches and the gift for purchase, and I can't remember what I got. So yeah, I think they must have saw me, heard me, and gone, holy crap, this guy could actually cause us a bit of problem. No, I won't, because I'll just get lazy and forget eventually. So
I've only got so much energy for a short time for whinging, and I've almost run out.
Yeah. No. I thought we were actually going to be whinging about Star Wars today, but I'm on the wrong channel now. That's what all Star Wars fans now do, isn't it? We just whinge about stuff now, isn't it? That's all I'm seeing now.
Well, I mean,
am I wrong?
Part and parcel of being a Star Wars fan, isn't it?
I don't know. I must be on the wrong team. I don't care. In all honesty. Yeah, unless you mention The Last Jedi, then you can start off.
Your favorite movie of all time.
Pile of bloody garbage. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not getting into that. No, I'm not getting into that. Not getting into that. I'm in a good mood.
Excellent. Yeah, because I think the last time you started streaming, maybe it was about a year or so ago, wasn't it? Didn't you have like a little shed or something, and it had a storm and then started leaking or something like?
Yeah, that started leaking, and eventually the roof caved in on that. Yeah, the roof caved in on it. But I managed to get all my Lego sets out of there before the roof caved in on that, because I could see I was like, oh my god, that's going to drop eventually. So yeah, that was a shame, because that was a nice little studio that was for me. Stuck outside in the freezing cold. It was bloody brilliant. Yeah, bit of a shame. So now I've ended up with a smaller room, believe it or not. The shed was actually bigger, so I've now been shoved in here in a corner. But yeah, it works.
Able to get through it. And Brett can, in case you didn't, confirming that the TIE Fighter doesn't fly in real life.
It didn't pass the Zoom test across the room.
I can confirm a Lego castle can't withstand a cannonball either.
What exactly is it that you do with your sets?
What, my sets?
If you're firing cannonballs at them.
Well, you get bored one day, you build an electrical cannon.
Speaking of
it gets lonely out on the road every now and again, it's a bit of fun.
Are you ever going to get that electric light tutorial done?
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. It's trying to do a video of like that. That's not going to come across boring, but it's still got to be as educational, but as entertaining as I can make it. And every time I seem to do it, even I'm falling asleep whilst doing it. I'm just like, trying to do a step-by-step kind of thing like that is it's interesting. It's interesting. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just might have to just break it up into several steps instead. Because but I might wait until I've got something that's got a bit of better lighting, because it's a bit dark in it. A bit dark. So a bit dark, and I've got a very small kind of canvas to work on here. So yeah, we'll see. The better place I could have done it was in the shed, because if I set the thing on fire, then it would have been one less job for me to bloody do anyway. So. And one last thing for my missus to moan about: when am I going to get rid of all my Lego sets? Sort of.
That's ridiculous. Like, How could you say such a thing?
Believe me, if you see my place, if you expect, I mean, you probably saw my flat when obviously I used to live there, and that was just a Lego flat, quite literally through and through. There wasn't a room in there that you can go to. So she said, when we move house, you're having your room, and everything is going to stay in there, and it's just kind of leaked out and spread its wings. And yeah, she keeps telling me where I'm going to put the UCS Venator. Yeah, it looks good on the windowsill there. What are you talking about?
Exactly. It's cool.
Yeah. She is going to throw it at me one day. I can see it.
It will definitely fail the flight test.
Yeah. All I know is going to hurt, though. I don't know who it's going to hurt more, me or her, because I would not be responsible for any of that. But yeah, no, that's a gorgeous ship, though. Really, Lego. Like, kudos to Lego. As much as I can hate on them every now and again, they've done a bloody good job there. Really good job. Do rate that. And anyone that says that Captain Rex should be an exclusive figure in that one, shut up. Shut up.
What, isn't he in a magazine next week or something?
I hope he is. I hope he bloody is. I really hope he does. I was like, oh, he's got to be exclusive in the Venator. No, he doesn't. He's a bloody clone trooper with a very expensive helmet that Lego's had to make. Shut it. Put him in every set if you want to. I don't care.
We need your rant videos again, mate. Honestly, they are so good. I promise I will post everywhere about them if you bring them back again. I love them so much.
I don't think there's enough YouTube space for me to keep ranting on. I don't think, to be honest.
There's a controversial figure that's going to be in the Star Wars mag. I'll get over it. It's going to just, if you want to just buy it, like.
It's like when I saw that they announced that it's going to Admiral Yularen and it's going to be Captain Rex. It's like, well, Captain Rex is blatantly going to be in another set. He's going to be in something cheaper because it's a Captain Rex. He's going to be. Admiral Yularen, yes, he should be an exclusive figure. There you go. Shut your window. You've got your exclusive figure. The clone trooper in that is blatantly going to be put in other sets. Shut up. God.
I always believe if you've got like a really expensive set, like a UCS set, £400-500, if it comes with like about 16 figures, then half of them should appear in other sets. But if you've got like 2 or 3 figures, I don't know. I'd like some exclusivity to be locked in, but like I can understand, Rex is gonna depends on who it is, really. I mean, Rex should appear the character in other sets, but I kind of think if you got like a massive...
You see, this is the thing, right? So answer me this one. So Lego are promoting this as a Clone Wars set, but then you open up the box and it's all Revenge of the Sith artwork. So technically, yeah, it is. I can show you here. All of that there, that's on the side of the box. Tell me if that's Clone Wars.
Well,
that's not, is it?
No.
Wasn't that during the Clone Wars? Like when
that's Revenge of the Sith. That is literally the opening scene. Don't wrong. Very nice box work. But that's the opening scene for the Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, but when do you say
no one ever complains about that, do they?
Within canon is the end of Clone Wars.
Yeah, and in general, I would argue that exclusivity is only an argument that the one with the biggest wallet gets the most figures.
Exactly. And that was going to be my next point. I mean, you're buying a set that is not for kids. It's a £650 set, €700, whatever. It's going to be exclusive because how many people got that kind of money laying around? I mean, I'm not one of these kind of collectors that can buy all the UCS sets. I can't afford it. I've got 2 leeches in the other room now that's been sucking me dry. I can't afford that. So I was like, well, they got the Venator, and it's a Venator I've always wanted. So I'm like, yeah, bosh, let's have that. But like the Star Destroyer 8080 and all that kind of stuff, like the set itself, that's what you're paying for. Like if I'm paying £600 for a bloody minifigure, that has got to be made from bullion, gold, 24 karat gold bullion. So oh mate, yeah, I don't. I just right, Taz. Yeah, no, I don't. I'm not one of those people that collect minifigures, so the monetary value for me is not there. The monetary value is in that set that has got to be perfect. Because I mean, if you want to rant about minifigures and you want to go about minifigures, go at the Star Destroyer. By all means, go for that. Because if you want paying 600 quid for a bloody minifigures alone, I'm sorry, you're an idiot. I don't know what to say. A 20-piece bit of plastic. Nah. I mean, they actually called that the Devastator as well, and they don't put Darth Vader in it. So I'll shoot yourself, Lego. God.
Well, if they can just get the right logos on it, they're probably doing well. I mean,
well, that'd be the other thing. Yes. I mean, there's. I mean, as good as Lego can be at times, they can do terrible things. But I also see the YouTube space as well, whinging about the most pathetic thing. I'm not sold on it. So that's why I kind of went solid on collecting Cobi. And done that. So, what's better to build a tank? You can't go wrong.
I must admit, I haven't found a Cobi set that I have taken the plunge on, but I have noticed that their range of sets is just getting so much. Because for me, I think we've said it. For me, I like when I buy a Lego set, I like the figures in the set. I like the scale. But those you ain't buying Cobi for those figures. Let's be real.
You're not buying Cobi for the minifigures. You're never. Anyone that says that they are.
They are spawns. They're not even spawns of Satan. They're too evil for Satan. Like, those things.
I will say in regards to the Cobi minifigure, like the ones like back in the old days, they were like I think of nightmares. Something you see in the Ring or the Shining or the spawn of Satan himself. But like the new ones, like the printing, like the arm printings, leg printings, and chest bit, it blows anything that Lego can ever do because there's no bleed through from the color underneath. There's none of this. I mean, don't wrong. Like the faces, if it can have a view, if it's ever going to go, no, because the lighting is not very good. But I mean, the faces are a little bit interesting. I'm going to lie, but
it's the eyes, mate. It's the fact that they got black eyes with like white dots in them. It's just like they just look possessed.
But then when you come out with something looking like that at the end of it,
the sets are beautiful. Look at that.
It's you do end up with something that is, excuse the dust, ignore the dust, that's camouflage. They do a really good job.
Camouflaged on your shelf.
And plus it is half the price of what a Lego set is as well, so it's an added bonus.
And you'd be hard pressed to know that that's a brick built model.
Yeah, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. Like unless you look at go up close and go, oh bloody hell, that is brick built. But from a distance, no, you wouldn't have a clue. But saying that, Lego can do that every now and again. When they pump out a set like that, it's like. I mean, I love the Saturn V shuttle. I mean, it's a thing of beauty. It really is.
That is good. That's good. That's a great set.
I mean, talk about having ego boost, eh?
Love the way you did that with the eyes as well. It's like,
I think I've degraded myself enough now. I bet I'm really better hit the hay because I was only meant to be on half an hour. I spent half an hour just ranting.
Oh, we've all been recharged, and that's well. Thanks very much for popping on. Always great to see you. And
thank you for the invite.
You can you get a bit of shut eye and have fun driving around the M25 or wherever you're off to tomorrow.
But before Darren leaves us, he needs to tell us when will be the next episode of Are You Mocking Me?
Yes.
Yes. Are you mocking me? Yes, it is going to be in March. The next one, no set date yet, but it is going to be in March. So it should be quite a special one, hopefully. So keep your eyes peeled out for that one.
Brilliant.
Should be a laugh. If anyone wants to join, DM me. We'll see what we can do. I'm all over Instagram sometimes, but I do read messages. So I'll I will be definitely doing that. So, and hopefully this time I'm going to have some actual effects this time and actually have a bloody clock on the screen instead of me just doing it on my iPhone. So. Last time was a bit of a mad one last time, but no, it was. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's all for the laughs and giggles at the end of the day. So,
it was definitely fun. It was definitely great fun.
No, I missed them. They're always great. So, yeah, brilliant. Okay, well, we'll look forward to that, and yeah, hopefully give us a bit of a heads up and have a bit of a promo.
We'll do. All right. Well, thank you very much, Matt. Thank you very much, and everyone. Love you all, and until next time. Bye.
Bye. And there goes Solo the Brit Builder. And what's KO saying? Bye. Don't fall into the dark side of Lego Star Wars. Yeah. Well, that looks like it might be coming with the there's a dark Millennium Falcon at some
Dark
stage.
Falcon, yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that one.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
That looks really cool. That looks.
Yeah.
I'm not hugely attached to the Millennium Falcon because I'm one of those weird people that I didn't become a Star Wars fan through the movies. I came through the animated series. That's where I became a fan. But that dark Millennium Falcon, I'm like, yeah, like if I was gonna have a Millennium Falcon, that would be the one I'd want.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what? Obviously, we've had the announcement of the new microscale line. Which I think it was the different ones. Anyone got any thoughts on them?
Love them. No, I love them. I actually think they're really good. I think they're going to do very well because you know, okay, we've had loads of big sets and we got all the UCS stuff and whatever. I've got half of them. Yeah. And then, but these sets, I mean, you know, like I've said before, if I want to put up another UCS, I've got to take the one down. But these sets are great because they're the ships and you're going to get to be able to display them. And they're actually quite really decent little builds as well from the look of it. Like, I really like the fact that on the Falcon one, they've done kind of like those little stud people inside, you know, and you can distinctly tell who they are just by the colors.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's just such a cute little touch. And yeah, to have them. I mean, I've got the Super Star Destroyer in the MIDI scale, and I really like that. That's out on the shelf. So yeah, to have like a whole set of these small ships, it's going to make such a nice display shelf for people who just don't have the space for the really big sets.
Yeah. It's a good price point, and you're going to get a decent sort of build and that out of it.
Yeah.
And Vulture sort of mentioned something here. Would rather they finished off the helmet line. So many missed. That's because I don't think we've ever had official confirmation that the helmet line's coming to an end, but I just don't think that they've actually announced anything further. Or have I missed that? Or
I mean, we just haven't heard any about this year. They could bring it back.
Yeah.
They could.
And
we may not ever see them. Who knows?
Yeah, but they kind of at the moment continue because there is the Spider-Man head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they are just branching out.
I mean, they always had the Marvel ones because they started off with the Iron Man one, which was let's not get onto that. And then the what is it? The Star-Lord, isn't it? Like
Star-Lord, yeah. The pencil case. Yeah.
The pencil one.
Pencil thing,
the one with no brain in the head that you could just stick things at.
Yeah.
In the top of it. And I think I was just looking back. We had a comment there. It's only just been announced in the last couple of hours. Is it Notre Dame? Or not announced, but leaked. Trying to find. I thought it was maybe Cabbage or somebody who mentioned it somewhere before. Here we go. That's what I'm looking for. What's everyone's thoughts on the first Cathedral set?
I don't know. I haven't heard of of that league. A Cathedral.
Yeah, it's going to be Notre Dame apparently. I think.
What, based on Hunchback of Notre Dame or just the actual building?
I think it's just the building because it's rumored to be coming in under the architecture line.
All right, not for me.
It's interesting because I thought Lego was trying to stay away from like religion and stuff like that. So it's kind of got a religious length through it, even though it's architecture.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm just trying to. Yeah, in the architecture line, brick clicker.
Is that how they're going? Is that how they're going to get around it though? Because
it's
an
a monument.
architecture line.
Yeah.
Just going. Oh, it's not. We're not building it for the religious bits. We're building it for the building. But then there's an argument to go. But don't most things are built for the building purpose of them or the look of them.
Yeah.
It still has attachments to religion. So
well, one thing I would say is that, and this is me like talking from like over in America where like, we just kind of like know about like some of this stuff. I think it, like, to me, I know it's a very famous architecture building. Like I don't associate it with religion, immediately. I mean, obviously a lot of really beautiful older buildings do have like, usually have some sort of religious, I can't even think today, but connected in some way to religion. So I feel like it really is just a beautiful building. And isn't this the one, correct me if I'm wrong, is this the one that sustained a lot of damage and that they had to rebuild?
Yeah.
Because we went to, lucky enough to go to Paris just before Christmas, and we went, took the kids past it. And because Paris has the Olympics this year, so they're hoping to have it open for that. So, but yeah, it looked like there's a lot of work to be done still. And even just sort of, they had the hoarding around it and they had some pictures and things on it. And just the logistics, I appreciate from an engineering point of view in terms of you've got, obviously, it's quite a tall building and they're doing a lot of repairs up in the roof. So while they're up in the roof, they've obviously got to build scaffolding out, but then they've got like nets all over the place. So obviously, if anything falls off, they're trying to catch it and things. Like some of those nets that you've seen, they're enormous. Like,
speaking of religious building, I have to ask: the Taj Mahal, does it have a religious aspect as well?
Technically, it's a mausoleum, but the people, the Shah, or who I've literally just looked it up. The Shah was they're Muslim, so it's a mausoleum, and mausoleums are kind of loosely based around religions, I guess. But the same with the pyramids. Technically, pyramids are also somehow linked to ancient Egyptian kind of religions and belief systems. So.
It certainly seems like the angle they're going at, as Amberlia said, they're going at the angle of it's just a beautiful piece of architecture.
Yeah, and a tourist trap.
And they can make money out of it.
It's just an interesting one because when it first popped up, it's sort of the religious angle came into it, and then it's thinking, well, what other buildings have they ever done which had that? Taj Mahal was sort of jumping to mind, but again, I thought that was more became, the mausoleum sort of thing.
It's not. I suppose the one thing that makes it different, it's not technically a place of worship, whereas the Notre Dame is. So.
I suppose, if you wanted to go like that, like the whole stadium line, then would be fall into that.
Me included, Vulture. I'm a big Man United fan, and he's just made an unsavoury comment about Old Trafford. It is, exactly. But the thing is, religion is open to interpretation. I'm a big football fan. They made stadiums. A lot of people see football as a religion. It's where you draw the line.
Well, I was to say, isn't a Jedi technically a religion in the UK?
It is. You can enlist to be a Jedi.
Yep. I might enlist to be that religion where you can wear a colander on your head on your passport.
What? But you have to present that colander to go through the passport gates every time. So
you can, because there's like in the your passport, it's you can't wear a hat. So somebody, just to annoy the government, started a religion, and part of their religion, they believe in this spaghetti monster from space. That's their god, and they have a whole creation story, and you can literally register for this in the UK. And part of your religious gear is to wear a colander on your head, and you can have on your passport a picture of you with a colander on your head.
Wow.
And it was just because of that, just to annoy the passport people.
But I'd like to think what they would say when you try and go into the US customs with that. They'll probably take a different view of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember years ago when Australia does a census every 5 or 6 years, and there's one thing which asks around religion and things like that. So that people were saying, okay, well, we're going to do Jedi as a religion sort of thing. And then they had to make a big announcement. So like, because if you fill out the census, you can actually get fines and things. So like, we don't see Jedi as a religion. If you do that, you will get fined for it. And I still think 100,000 people did it or something crazy. So,
yeah.
It's kind of crazy like that. But one of the things we were sort of going to have a little bit of a chat about was sort of tonight, which I've kind of prepped a few people on the panel. In the term that you've sort of been in time doing collecting Lego and things like that, what sort of changes have you had in sort of like, I guess, spending habits or the way that you collect things? Certainly initially when you sort of got back into it, it was very much kid in the candy store trying to grab everything, and then over time I think running out of a bit of space and things, and it's like, okay, we need to be a little bit more sensible with what we're sort of doing here. So anybody else had something similar, or how have you sort of approached Mnrk? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so for me it was I got back, so I went into a Lego Dark Age. I got back into it sort of like 2016, where I started to essentially, I just bought a classic box of bricks, and I was just trying to put things together and come up with concepts, and then that kind of dissipated out, and I got back into it again during lockdown. Much like a lot of people, rediscovered it when you suddenly had a lot of disposable income on your hands and a lot of time on your hands. So for me, when I got back into it, it was just after Hidden Side had finished. So I didn't know any of the Lego themes. So the first set that I bought was Assembly Square, because I bought a set for me to occupy my time in the evenings after working from home. I'd finish my shift and then I'd have something to do in the evening. So I had no idea about a lot of themes. So I didn't have the FOMO for themes that passed because I didn't know anything about them. But then as I got into it and discovered the Lego community here on YouTube and other social medias, and then Lego released all these new themes, you suddenly, subconsciously you get FOMO about all these themes. It's just like, but everyone's got these sets, like everyone loves them, and you develop your own almost FOMO to have the set as well. And so I went through a phase of wanting pretty much everything, buy every set in every theme. But then I find now that we are so oversaturated with themes and sets, and of course with the prices continuously going up, because of course they're a business, they have to make money, and inevitably prices are going to keep going up. But so for me, I had to slow down. So I'm on the decline of having FOMO anymore. But for me, it was just like the Creator Expert line, buying the Assembly Square. Then I also bought the Fiat 500. I bought that. And then I discovered the Chinese New Year sets. So I bought those. And so those were my kind of themes. And then Monkey came along. So then I started collecting that. And then I discovered Lego Friends, and I pretty much have 70% of everything they've ever had. So, so for me, I've had to slim it right down. So for me, it tends to just be Lego Friends, is my main sort of theme that I buy for. And then I treat myself to the Chinese/Lunar New Year set. And then occasionally I'll buy one-off sets of things that I enjoy, themes that I like, but I don't worry about having FOMO about missing sets. Like I can quite happily let sets pass and just be like, well, you know, you can't have them all. But when I first got back into Lego, I was like, I must have them all. So I don't know if I've matured as a Lego fan now and kind of mellowed out a little bit. But I just find the oversaturation for me has caused me to step back and go, I can't have them all. And that's almost made it easier for me because there is so much out there now.
Yeah, yeah. And in terms of oversaturation, like, you mean like there's lots of different themes that are all still coming out that you just...
Yeah, so for me, it's the you've got the IPs that have been around, you know, your Star Wars. Yeah, I actually do own 2 Star Wars sets. I own Luke's Landspeeder from way back when, and I also own a 501st Battle Pack that I bought to do a build stream for Solo. So for me, so I do like Star Wars. I just purposely set a goal to never collect it and start, because it's a slippery slope, because the sets are so good. So I've stepped back and sort of let that ship sail, and I'm very, very, very pleased that I did. I love the sets, like I think they're amazing, but my god, I would be broke. I wouldn't be living in a house. I'd literally be in a cardboard box surrounded by my Lego sets if I'd got into that Star Wars theme. But yeah, it's the I think the introduction of all these IP themes, and then the introduction of all the Lego original themes, all coming in. I mean, if you look at Lego.com now, Matt, you look at how many themes there are, how much it expands out into all these things, and even from a couple of years ago, that list has got considerably bigger.
Yeah, and certainly with some of the icons or ideas they can bring in and things, like even some of the Lord of the Rings, like, you know, it was kind of a couple of Brickheads and Rivendell, and then obviously another one this year, and yeah, it's there is a lot there. And for us, Star Wars, when the kids are sort of starting to slip into their dark age. So before, you'd buy a Star Wars set and they would just play it to death, and you're quite happy to do it. But then lately, it's like, actually, they're not really doing much with it anymore. It's like, you know, are we actually getting it to play or to display, or what's going on? So yeah, certainly been looking at paring some of that back. And while you're talking, I saw Amberlia sort of nodding her head there a lot in either agreement or something like that. So, so like, is there some thoughts on how you've sort of changed your sort of buying habits, or what you sort of will get into or not get into?
Yeah, no, and I feel I feel everything, honestly, on all the things. I feel all those things, especially just to, you know, getting into, I got into Lego via Lego Masters, actually, is how that happened with my daughter and I. But I remember walking through the aisles before I was into Lego and seeing all the sets that are now gone that I can't have. So there's even like a bigger sense of, I just didn't know when I saw it in the Lego aisle that I was going to want it like 2 years from now. So I had that. But yeah, like, and I've said this many times, is that when it comes to purchasing a set, there are 2 things that I keep in mind. One of them is I may purchase things just for the build experience, because it looks like it's going to be something really interesting, really fun, that I'm going to enjoy that experience, and then more than likely I'll part it out and put it into my inventory. But when it comes to things that I like want to display, it it has to be like, even with Star Wars, it has to be more than Star Wars. Like it has to be something that I have like a connection with that's meaningful to me. So, you know, for example, I didn't really have that many ships before. And then, of course, the Ahsoka show came out, and I ended up getting like a ton of ships because I watched that show, and I love Ahsoka so much. And of course, the Ghost, which is it will get built. I finally ordered the case. I can't build it until I have a case to put it in because it will be destroyed if it doesn't get in a case. But it's a matter of just like, is it something when I look at every day, like I'm going to have like this awesome like thought and memory of, or is it just, oh, it's Star Wars. So, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, it's, and no, just sort of highlighting when you're sort of, pressing on buttons here. We talked about ships and display, and then obviously you got the ones right behind you over your shoulder there and things.
And you can't see it, but the ambush on Ferrix is actually mounted on the wall up. It's up there in the very corner there somewhere.
Yeah,
and I love that show. So that really small, ship. I'm like, I love this show. I need these minifigures. I need something from it. So.
Yeah. That's the easy thing with Andor. It's like they only had the one set, so it's like,
I know.
You're not going to get sucked into a slippery slope with that one yet. So, okay, cool. Pop up to Fred. How's your sort of collection, or how do you decide what to kind of buy for the things that you want to be building and keeping?
Well, for me, it's very different. Obviously, I buy lots of Lego for reselling purposes, but from a personal one, it's just kind of see what comes up there and I always like the what's it called, the modular buildings, but my oldest son is growing up more, and he more and more wants to build them now, so I hardly get a chance of building them, which is a bit of a pain. And we're both big aviation geeks as well, so when we saw the Concorde come out, like I realized I have to buy 2 of these because he's going to want to build one. So I haven't built one yet, but he's built his in his room. So yeah, it's things like that. I like stuff myself, like all the old retro stuff, like the El Dorado Fortress. I love the look of that. I haven't built it yet, but it's those sort of things that give me a bit of nostalgia. It's like, even now you see the what's it called, the 3-in-1, the little small truck with the flatbed helicopter on it. That just reminds me of I think it's 5590, the set from like the 1990s. I had one of those as a kid, so I was like, it's just looking back at those are the sort of sets that I grew up with, and that kind of makes me think I quite like that, and it just makes me think I want to buy the old sets again, but yeah, I can't afford those. So it's just, I haven't got a theme. I love Star Wars pretty much as well from watching Star Wars, more of the animated series and things like that, but I wasn't really a big Star Wars fan. I would say I got to learn a lot more about the minifigures and everything like that. Yeah, through the minifigures, I got to know the characters. But I wouldn't go say like I need to buy all the UCS. No, I like the build experience. I like the new techniques, and just kind of like always interested to see what new pieces are coming out as well. And that's kind of the advantage of having a Bricklink store. You get to stay up to date with all the latest new pieces and how they can be used. So I quite like looking at that aspect and seeing what new colors are coming out, or the new pieces in new colors. So I think that's always an interesting, and thinking like, what could people build with those in a mock? And if you're a Bricklink store owner and you see these orders, you're always wondering, what are these people building with this coral random color that you're like, what are they actually building? So I always got that fascination. It's like, it must be something interesting that they're building
with that. Yeah, a bit the same. You'd have the orders come through, and much the same. You get a whole bunch of green or pieces like that. It's like, okay, you're doing some landscape, a whole bunch of gray and black, probably Star Wars or something. But yeah, some other times you see someone that's like, what are you actually going to be doing with that combination of stuff?
Yeah, I've also built my first ever mock like at a big scale this year, which I thought was quite interesting. It's like I never done something like that before, and I quite like the challenge. I quite like to challenge myself. And my wife looks at me, is like, what are you doing now? It took over the whole dining room table. It's like 6 48 by 48 base plates, like a massive Endor speeder chase that's like motorized going around. So I was like, yeah, I just got to get these ideas in my head, and I'm thinking like, yeah, I could do that. And then just thinking like, why did I even start this? It's just like, and then suddenly you got all these deliveries of bricks coming around. It's like, oh, I must have had like must be about 20,000 pieces in that set. Something like, what's going on? When I get something in my head, it's usually a big idea. I don't do things half-hearted, and then I realize like, I can't do this. Oh, I'm going to do it all these bricks. Oh, I'll just put it in my Bricklink store. So I do have these random impulses of getting crazy idea, start something, and it's like, maybe this wasn't the best idea. Like I also did one of those art mosaic sets. Like I think is it one of the websites, I forgot what it's called. It's like it's art remix or something like that, and where you can just put an image in and it gives you the Lego pull out of what you can actually make as a logo. And I decided to do my football team that I support a big logo. But it's not like, you know, the little art base plate of 16 by 16. I had 64 of those. So it's, you can imagine it's 8 by 8. It is huge. So it's, I think that was like 15,000 of the round 1 by 1 dots. So this take quite a while.
Wow.
Do you have any fingers left? All those down. You must have worn it all away by now.
Yeah, I had someone ask me, it's like, oh, you can build a few of those and kind of like, you know, take it apart and read. I'm like, I'm not taking that apart. Can you imagine taking those 1 by 1 round dots off of I was like, not doing that.
And just well, got that there. Just had somebody sitting or waiting in the green room for a little bit. So welcome along, Ollie. Who?
Hey.
Hey. How you going?
Yeah, good. Cheers. Well, good. How you doing? How's everyone on the panel?
Yeah, all good.
Good.
Yeah.
Going well.
Good. Good
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
A bit of a chat about buying habits and things which have been sort of changing lately and things. So,
yes.
I'm getting into all that. And yeah, because I think, that's the mock that Fred did with an Endor speeder chase sort of thing. It's brilliant the way they sort of like used the trains and that, and then when Tech was mentioning he's doing something like with the pod racing sort of thing for, I think it's Bricktastic.
Yeah. Him and Sam are doing a collab.
Yeah, similar sort of thing where they're going to be using, I think, trains or something like that. So certainly Fred had his video and I flicked it across to him and so like, well, have somebody else has done it and solved some problems. So knowing Tech, he'll probably contact you in a week's time. It's like, do you want to do this?
It's actually I met him in the Brighton store and he was telling me about what he's doing there. So he recognized me by then. So, I wonder if he was buying the parts for it then.
It could be.
I think
always buying things.
Yeah, I think he did say about getting down there for parts.
So, TJ, obviously we know you as sort of like the Ninjago sort of guru and everything like that, and obviously you've purchased a little bit of Ninjago. How do you sort of figure out what you're sort of going to be buying, or how's that sort of changed over the years?
Well, when I was younger, which wasn't that long ago.
Rub it in.
When I was a kid.
Like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago. You know, as a kid, I'd just buy sets for fun. Like, this looks cool, I'm going to get it. And then I think probably around 2015 or so is when I was like, oh, I'm going to collect every single Ninjago set. I'm going to be the completionist route. I think once I got to the movie, I realized that wasn't a good idea. And I've slowly accumulated sets that I don't really want anymore. That ended up getting parted down or put in storage because I don't really like them. And now I'm kind of at a point where I buy most Ninjago. Like, Ninjago is my primary theme, and it's mainly for the figs, if I'm honest. But I don't buy every Ninjago at this point. And then I dabble in Star Wars as well. There was a time, 2013, 2014, when there wasn't a whole lot of Ninjago. So I kind of switched over to Star Wars once I was done with the Ninjago wave for the year. And then it kind of faded away, and now I'm trying to find more of a balance to get some Star Wars stuff in there. Yeah. And then now I'm getting into MOCs as well. I've got the Temple of Air Jitsu. I've got that temple there. And those are really fun, but it's very difficult to buy. Yeah, there's the Temple of Fortitude. I can get the Temple of Air Jitsu.
What's fantastic is I actually know what he's talking about now.
Yeah, this
wow.
is progress so far.
Yeah, I think the last time I saw it was only the first layer. So
Yeah, it's got a second layer. I just got in some more 16x16 dark tan base plates, so now all the colors are correct. I had fun putting that together yesterday. And then, yeah, so it's like I want to do MOCs as well, but it's near impossible to finance MOCs and sets at the same time. Yeah, it's a very difficult balance. So yeah, I'm still kind of working out a balance. Now, with Ninjago, because the figs are what I primarily like, it is a little bit easier if they pop up on bricks and pieces, like they did with the last wave. Like I bought the whole crystallized wave pretty much day one, with one exception, which I bought later. And then like a year later, all the fig parts come out on bricks and pieces, and there was immense regret for spending the like $800 that it was for all of them.
I think on Bricks and Pieces, didn't we get Golden Woo? Like most of Golden Woo appeared on Bricks and Pieces.
Yeah,
and that was supposed to be the fig to get for was it Ninjago City?
Yeah, for
Gardens.
gardens. Yeah.
Yeah, and yet,
Yeah, well,
you know, nearly all of it appeared on Bricks and Pieces.
Yeah, and that fig is pretty cheap anyway, because I think a lot of people part out Ninjago Gardens, so there's a bunch on Bricklink. Yeah.
So I have a question then. If a minifigure, right, is only ever found in a particular set, but it eventually, like, the pieces end up on Bricks and Pieces, does that make it still exclusive to a particular set?
Yeah. It's just you can also order the parts off Bricks and Pieces.
Okay. I didn't know if that like changed things, because it's like, well, technically you could piece it out. So
it just makes it easier to get in most cases. So yeah, so like Oni Lloyd, for example, is like a $40 figure, and then you could go and put them together on Bricks and Pieces for only a few dollars. Or like one of the villains from the Dragons Rising first wave, only in one set, Army Builder, and then you could part them together on Bricks and Pieces, and that was a lot easier. So yeah, that's I just have to learn to be patient, and I'm really bad at that. I'm really bad at succumbing to the Ninjago FOMO and just buying the sets anyway. Yeah, but I do like buying mechs the most. I love to see how Legos improve their mechs with Ninjago, or in some cases regressed. But yeah, mechs are probably my favorite like set to buy, mechs and temples as well. The thing with temples is that if I end up not liking it, I can part it down and use the parts for something.
Use it for something else.
Whether it's to build a bigger version like I did with the Temple of Fortitude, or just to build something else.
For the people who do MOCs, because I found it sometimes when I'm doing a MOC and I'm ordering pieces for that and building up, or however that's, I generally find that I switch off to any of the new releases or anything else which is going, or any sale, because you're sort of like, okay, I've only got a certain amount of money and it's kind of allocated because I need to get this done. For the people who do MOCs, do you find something similar, or is it still maybe just more organized and do the MOCs much further in advance? So I don't know.
So it's really interesting because I literally had that crossroads. So I'm currently I found the term is called junk build. I didn't know that term until recently, but part of what I do for my MOCs is I take the instructions for the modular buildings and I junk build them using just my own pieces. So it forces you to be creative. But of course, if I'm not going to spend any money, I look over to some of the sets that I had and built, and I've got them just in a Ziploc bag, similar to what TJ does. You know, I put them into a Ziploc bag, and I think, well, though that Ziploc bag is just full of really valuable, really useful pieces, and actually, what purpose is it serving in a Ziploc bag? If I want to rebuild it again in the future, I can, because eventually that MOC that I built, that will get parted out, and I can just go and grab the instructions on lego.com and relive that experience again. So for me, I'm finding at the moment I'm shopping my sets for my pieces, and so I'm finding that has become easier because the cost of MOCs is very expensive. So I'm getting creative with parting sets out.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
The costs of MOCs, you appreciate when you get a set. Obviously, when they make a set, they're doing economies of scale. They can really drive the prices down and everything like that. But when you're buying for specific things or specific purposes all of a sudden and throwing some postage from 20 different sellers, it's like, okay, this is beginning to really add up. So
I will also say, when I do part down Ninjago sets, put them into the parts collection, I put all the special stickered and printed elements in a separate place. So that way, if I ever do decide I need to rebuild the set for whatever reason, they're all here. Like I even have like the head from Wojira and whatnot in here. Yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff, and then I can use them for mocks as well. Like if I'm making a, let's say, coal-themed vehicle, I have all these special earth coal prints and stickers that are here.
I was going to say that was a danger. I did that for the Sanctum Sanctorum, but then now I've used a bunch of pieces and other stuff, and I don't know where it is now. So if I went to build the Sanctum again, I don't know where where all of the pieces are now.
I did that with my Space Police 3 sets because I parted them down several times, and I learned to keep the stickers separate. I learned they had to go somewhere.
I did it with my so I was a friend of mine very graciously gave me their some of their old Lego sets, which were the classic Harry Potter sets, the ones that come with the yellow face characters. So I've got quite a few of those. I've got like I think it's the clock tower and a few of those. So I've got those pieces and I've pieced them out and kept them safe. But because it's got so many useful pieces in those, I've used those in mocks that I've built. But like TJ, I've kept all of those exclusive, like that gorgeous clock piece. I've got that, and I've got like all the other exclusive prints and stickers and things, because it's so tempting to just put them in to, I've got like a collection of stickered and printed elements, but then I think if they disappear in there, then I'm never going to know which ones they go to when I look through it all again. So I know that I've kept them all aside separately.
Yeah, brilliant. I just want to give a bit of a shout out to Adorable. Great to see you around. I know it's like silly o'clock in Australia, so always great to sort of have you when you do pop in. And I think I'm just trying to remember, the Brick Convention went to a couple of weeks ago and had a Bears display for all of her little mocks for that, which that's always brilliant. So that was nice to see out in the world as such. And I guess while we're still sort of on the mocking aspect, Ollie, what's your sort of approach to purchasing things, or how's that changed in recent times? Or
I've definitely lost interest in a fair number of like official sets because I'll focus more on what I'm building myself. But then there's always good ones that come out. I'll try and get stuff on sale. I'm a lot more like, I'm not paying £120 for that. But yeah, I am a sucker for sales. And I think like TJ said, like I part out a lot of sets. So even if I buy something, build it once, I'll just part it out, and then I've got a bunch of cheaper parts at least. But yeah, it does get expensive. Mocking is expensive, and it's made me a lot more discerning in how I'm spending my money, especially with like life on top of it. Definitely makes you be like, I've got to tighten that belt a little bit.
Yeah, I think probably possibly before you came on, Mnrk made a comment like that. If he wasn't doing that, he'd be in a living in a cardboard box rather than a house sort of thing.
Surrounded by Lego sets.
Yeah.
Using them as building blocks to keep me warm and dry.
Boxes, I can tell you from experience that boxes don't keep you warm. They suck up all the heat. I used to work in a warehouse full of boxes and it was freezing.
Sounds like you've been thinking about that a little bit too much.
No, you just surfaced a memory that I'd forgotten about. Sat in the dead of winter working in the middle of a warehouse at a computer.
So it's not sort of like, wait a minute, how can I have the room so it's warm so I don't have to pay for heat and then I could buy more parts?
Take the boxes to yourself. So then
be a bit of a box man with that. And KO here.
I'm my biggest fan, KO.
Adore. Yep. Brickvention was fantastic. Great to hear. Because I think what some people might not appreciate is Adore is on the west coast of Australia and the convention is on the east coast. So it'd be like going from one side of America to the other, sort of thing. So it's not a quick little trip down the road.
Yeah, I didn't appreciate how far people within Australia had to travel. Like I saw someone, maybe Hillians film, saying it would cost thousands of dollars to go to Brickvention. It's like, and you're in the country.
Yeah, because again, I think too she's on the west coast as well from memory, so it is a bit of a trek across. But it's been the sort of thing like when we were kids, you could drive for 13-14 hours and you're still in the same state. Like so, it's like
madness.
Makes you realise how small the UK is in that instance.
Yeah.
Well, I think
I can't even imagine. That's like the whole country, isn't it? Like to drive 13-14 hours.
Yep, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I always find it funny with my wife because she's British and we'll go somewhere and it's like 4 or 5 hour drive. It's like, we'll need to stop overnight halfway between. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, that might just be the first rest stop and then like we'll be there. So
same with America, right? Like British people just aren't willing to travel very far. Like not for 3 hours. Like maybe we'll plan that for like 2 months' time.
Ollie, like, it is far. It is very far for us.
Yeah, I looked up. Talking about Manchester, I looked up train tickets there. £150 for a direct train from where I am. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's
another matter.
Train travel's expensive. I noticed that in the country here too. So
I really wanted to fly because flying is cheaper. Because I could get to Heathrow and then fly to Manchester for about 80 quid. Problem is, I've got Lego MOCs and I don't trust them in the hold. Otherwise, I just have a box of bricks. It's like, here's my MOC, and it's just like smashed to pieces. Destruction, Friend City. This is my MOC.
You could do it as a post-apocalyptic Friend City.
Right. I'm just seeing in the private chat there, Amberlia is going to jump off and sort of continue life. So always great to have Amberlia in. Do you want to give a sort of plug to any sort of things you might have coming up on your socials or that sort of thing?
I'm still in my keeping it easy breezy phase. So I mean, other than like you probably saw, or for those of you who might have seen, TJ and I, we do our like right before the releases. So that comes up at the end of the month, which again won't be for another month. But when I'm feeling up to it, I'll hop on a stream. I know my kiddo loves to stream too, and so you'll just get like a weird notification and be like, hey, she's online. So that's it. So if you follow me, you'll hopefully get the notification.
Yeah. No, that's brilliant. That's usually what happens. I'm about to climb into bed and then I'll get the Twitch notification. Oh, Amberlia is streaming, or Amberlia and TJ. It's like, oh yeah, I'll jump in at 5, like 1 a.m. or something usually, but yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, thanks very much for joining us. Always appreciate that. And
thanks for having me.
Brilliant. Excellent. All right. And
bye, everybody.
Yeah. See you later.
Good night.
Yeah.
Bye.
Don't forget to like the stream.
Press buttons.
Bye.
Yeah, it's always interesting. It just feels like, we're getting so many leaks and announcements and everything like that for sets in 3 or 4 weeks' time, or maybe 3 or 4 months' time. And sometimes forget, and when TJ and Amberlia do that sort of, what's coming out in the next day or two, it's like, oh yeah, that's right. Is that when that's sort of coming out or officially coming out? So good to see those ones. I would imagine February is a bit light, but I think March is shaping up to be a big one.
Yeah. Yeah, February only had a handful of sets, but
Yeah,
there's
really
also the Bricklink Designer Program.
Hmm.
Series
That'll
1
probably
is
cost me.
going to be available for pre-order on the 7th.
Oh,
Yeah.
That'll be an expensive month.
yeah. That's. I'm glad you sort of mentioned that because yeah, holding off on stuff for January because I haven't bought a lot. But then yeah, in the back of my mind, it's like yeah, next week might be an expensive day.
Are you
February is
going to
like-
buy sets from the Bricklink Designer Program?
Yeah,
I'm
I
buying them all.
yeah, it's and I think what is it? 4 of the 5 are like quite big ones. Like
Yeah. There's only one that's below $100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And seeing what KO there by and D&T returns back. I'm sure it will. Doorbell saying see you later as well. So I think we'll go across to Lady MacBrick. And how is your sort of, I guess, purchasing or what you choose to buy or not buy sort of changed over the years?
I think my biggest break in what I buy is was made when I moved to this apartment, and I had to disassemble so many things, and they are all in zipper bags and theoretically to be rebuilt. But I know that certain sets will never be rebuilt, and those are sets, small sets, and not really Mechs, but small sets. Loads of Friends sets. I love the Friends theme, but if I disassemble a Mech or a really small Friends, like little rooms, it's only 10-20 euros, but I know I will never rebuild them. So nowadays I rather buy something like the Avenger Tower, and I know it's totally counter. It does not really make sense. If I tell people I'm making progress in what I buy, because in former years I bought 200 sets. Now I only buy 100 sets. Problem is that one set is 500 euros, and in former times, 50 or 100 of them were just 10 or 20 euros. I'm spending more money, but I think it's better spent.
Yeah, I do find with the it's the way that works out. The bigger sets do have generally a lot more detail, either more just not so much displayability yet as comes into that playability in terms of features and things that it can do, and which sometimes when it's got those components in it, it makes the builds somewhat interesting to see. Okay, how do they achieve it through technical system or whatever? Because I was always really surprised with the Optimus Prime that they did a couple of years ago. You'd think something like that would be Technic, and actually most of it's actually just standard system. So
yeah. And the strange thing is, the bigger a set is, the easier it is to be displayed, because if you have 3 big sets and you have 20 little sets, same number of pieces, but the 20 little sets, it looks messy on the shelf. It's you put in more and more stuff on less and less space, and all of a sudden it looks messy. But if you have 3 big sets, it kind of looks structured.
yeah. The other thing I was just thinking when sort of this here is the scale gets
Speaking
thrown
of
out.
messy.
No,
Oh, yours is by no means messy.
Yeah. You've got most of your room on show by the looks of it.
Yeah. There's a reason why none of mine is.
Yeah.
Good save. But because the Avengers Tower is so big, like you sort of look at that and you sort of look at all the buildings next to it, and they sort of seem tiny, but it's sort of like most of the buildings next to it are 3-story like modulars, like they're good sized buildings. It's just really, I guess because you got a bookend with both the Avengers Tower and the Daily Bugle, it really distorts that sort of sense of scale.
Right.
Okay then. It's good to sort of get your take on it. And no, I certainly know what you mean when you've got a lot of little sets, because I sometimes feel that with, like, say, the Sonic sets and things like that. It's like, yeah, it's great that they got stuff in them, but unless you got the big robot or mech or whatever, most of it is just fiddly stuff around the edges. So
thank goodness we've got them though. I'm so happy we've got them.
Yeah, no, it's I find it's great because years ago I did a custom Sonic mock, and those videos are always getting views because it's like people are just searching for Sonic, because obviously now it's there and it spits up. So it's
and not everything is really wasted. There are sets like I think it was a garage at one point, and certain parts of the sets still survive, like an outdoor toilet or an ATM. It is integrated in my city.
I just love the example.
Those outdoor toilets.
The first thing that you went to.
It's the space for a toilet is never wasted. Taken from a lady.
And then I'm sure TJ is thrilled that the latest Ninjago. I never get the names of them right. Is Ninjago City Markets?
Yes. Yeah. Ninjago City Markets. First ever working toilet. But you can only fit a 1x1 round tile down the toilet. I tried many other pieces and none of them worked. Including a katana. That was the whole big thing. I was disappointed that the katana didn't work, but not surprised. I knew going into that it wasn't good.
I mean, how did it get done? Oops, sorry, mate. Go.
No, go on.
I was just going to ask, how far did the katana get?
Not very far.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
I mean,
it was,
if you put something in there
usually,
and it only goes
once
half
it gets to the, so there's like a curve in it to where it goes underneath part of the walkway. I have to,
Right.
actually,
Yeah, 'cause it's quite
so
long,
once it
isn't
gets
it?
to there, that's where most things get stuck.
In the U-bend.
Yeah.
Dig it out.
Dig it out.
Yeah, I had to dismantle that a few times to undo the damage that I had done.
I just love it. Like, I can just imagine you going through it, you're testing all the different things, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, what's going to fit, what's not going to fit. That will be the next thing. Once you finish, your different temples and things like that, it'll be like adjusting the plumbing in that so it can take bigger things into it, and you just see you sort of playing with it or something. But and moving along to our resident Harry Potter fanatic, how has your sort of buying sort of changed, Chris, over the time?
When I first got into Lego, 2017, 2018, I think since then I've always considered myself as a healthy buyer of Lego. I've always only bought sets that I have a connection with and I genuinely like. And I know we've had conversation in the past about, like, Lego, do they make far too many sets? No, because I'm not going to buy every single set. Financially, it's not possible. Emotionally, it's not possible, because majority of the sets I'm not going to get because I don't want to buy them. And even with my primary theme, which is Harry Potter, there's still sets I dislike. Even to this moment, even to this very day, the Sorting Hat, I've looked at it. It's not
freaks
for
me
me.
out. I'm sorry. That
It's straight out of Dogma.
Sorting
Straight
Hat.
out of Dogma.
Yeah,
You
we
know
know
what I
what
mean.
Sorted Hat looks like, and there's still going to be one half of the Harry Potter community that is going to buy that set at the drop of a hat, right? And there's going to be another half of Lego Harry Potter fans that are going to look at it and think, not for me, sort it out. And I don't think many of you actually was aware of what I just did there. It was a joke.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's Trevor in the room.
Right. Yeah,
It's very clever.
Guys, if you are
Very
watching,
clever.
don't like the stream, right? Sorry, guys. No, and I've always been.
Sorry, was he still here, or was it?
No. I've always been like very selective, and it just comes down to the fact if I like it, I buy it. But there's some sets that I will buy day one, and there's some sets that I'll think, do you know what, I really want it, but do you know what, I can wait for a discount. I can really wait for a discount, and it's like Star Wars, which is another theme I collect, but I haven't got many. But the sets that I do like, the sets I do have, I absolutely love. So I've only got about like 5 or 6, but I love them, and I have a connection with them. And like the Mos Eisley Cantina, it's one of those sets where you feel like it's a bit like some of the Hogwarts sets. You know, if you get like Casting Grounds, it gives you a feel of, do you know what, I don't need to get any of the other Hogwarts sets. It gives you that completed feel, and that's why I got the Cantina. You know, I feel like I've, you know, completed that the theme for me.
And you earned that set, right? You were waiting for ages for that, and like saving and waiting for a sale, and like biding your time for it. And
I was waiting for John Lewis to do their discount on it. And they did it the year before last, and
I think it's on sale right now as well on John Lewis right now.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
20% off.
Yeah.
Off the
But it's just straightforward. I've always been, if I like it, I'll get it, and I think you gotta be careful. It's dangerous ground if you're buying set after set after set after set all the time. There's not a wrong with Lego. There's something. I don't want to sound cruel, but there's something wrong with that person, because the thing is, you can just keep buying and buying and buying, impulse buying, whether it's several little sets or a few big sets, it all mounts up. And surely, and there's probably people out there that buys a lot of Lego and probably regrets half the stuff they buy.
I don't think so. For that I have to disagree.
That won't be
Every
a first.
single set, every single there is no, but there's one set that it wasn't that satisfying, but the minifigures are great, and it's okay. But every other set that I bought, I do not regret that I bought it, because I really enjoyed building it. And the only things that I regret to a certain degree are the things that I didn't buy, because that's the beauty for me, is the pieces I can still use, and it's nothing really wasted, and nothing goes bad and expires on me. So even the sets that are in zipper bags, at one time in the future, if I really decide they won't be rebuilt, they go into the loose bricks collection, and then they will find a new home in my collection.
Yeah.
So it's not really, it's really for me the things that I didn't buy, and that makes it trigger a bit difficult, because theoretically I'm not into flowers. Now I bought the roses and I love them. And now I see all the others who build really cool stuff with all the other flowers, not the actual flowers, but they go crazy with it. And I sit there thinking, maybe I misjudged the other sets and I should buy them and let myself be inspired by what you can do with the flowers. Like the brick bots, what they did with their reef, and it's take something and turn it into something else. That's
yeah, what they did with the succulents in a coral reef was amazing, and it's interesting, because I actually do partially agree with you, Chris. I think that there is an element, and I mean, whenever I'm on stream and I talk about it all the time, it's super important, you know, that we have a budget and we keep our hobby in a budget. We don't over impulse buy, because if your hobby gets you into debt, then stop, because a hobby should be enjoyed, and you shouldn't have financial worry or financial debt for a hobby. If you are, then unfortunately, as you said, Chris, there's something that needs to be reviewed in terms of your spending habits, because your hobby should always be something that you can afford, spend what you can afford, and have that budget. You know, there are sets that I've bought that I originally thought I would absolutely love, and I've not even featured them on a stream because I'm just like, I don't want to stream this. It doesn't appeal to me that much in hindsight. But as Nicole said, I just part it out and I just let it go. And I think, well, actually, now it's pieces in the set, and it'll turn from one floppy set in hindsight will now turn into 15 or 20 partial, parts of an amazing set.
Yeah, that is the beauty of Lego, right? Because if you don't like it, you can just use the parts for someone else.
Absolutely. If you're into mocking, though, I mean, I'm not really into mocking as such. I mean, it's something I'd love to try and give a go in the near future. And at a recent event that has happened to me over the past week or so is actually given me some thought of actually doing a mock. But I tell you what, since like when I've been into Lego, like I was saying, like I think I've been quite consistent at buying sensibly. But I think the one thing that I've tweaked slightly. Now, I've never really had a Lego haul or anything like that. I sort of like I've bought 3 or 4 sets in one visit to Lego, or I've bought 3 or 4 sets at the same time. And I think the most I think I've spent in one go is probably Gringotts day one. That's just because I generally couldn't wait for that set. I had to buy it.
Yeah.
But one thing I've tweaked slightly, especially over the past couple of years, is backlogs. I don't like backlogs. I don't like having 6 or 7 sets just there doing nothing. I've actually reduced it. I think the most I've ever had in a backlog, how I remember this, and it's 9. And I don't think I like that. I like to buy a couple of sets that I feel that I can buy now, whether it's a good discount or whether it's a set that's day one, like March the 1st, Harry Potter set's coming out. There's 3 sets I'm definitely buying day one. And there's a couple of sets that I might wait for the discount, except for that Hedwig set. God, no, I'm not buying that. And then,
my Hedwig for me.
But,
just
all the Hedwigs.
Yeah, and I like to treat my Lego purchasing with due care, and it's like, I'll have a 2 or 3 sets. I'll build one, display it, and then move on to the next one. But I like to do things gradually and steadily. But that's one thing I think I've definitely tweaked is reducing the backlog, and I've done that quite easily. And I don't like to have any more than 3, because if I've got like 3 sets, I don't need to buy a 4th or a 5th set. Let's just wait a second. Let me build this set. And me, sometimes I like to drag out the building a set, and by the time I've built one set, the one set I do want might be on discount. By the time I finish, or if I get through 3 sets that I've got in my backlog, by the time I'm going to buy the next set, it could be on discount.
Yeah, and that is totally fine. I think the difference is based on character. Because I'm the total opposite. I'm not one who has hundreds of sets in the backlog, if you do not count my zipper bag collection. But in box, new, I have a fair number. But I treat my Lego the same as I treat my food. I would never go with, on food in general, like milk. I would never use the last box of milk, drink it by the next one, or have 2. I always have a certain number, so not that they spoil, but I have a fear of running out, and it gives me real peace of mind to have a certain number of sets in a reasonable manner, so that if I want to build something small, I can grab it. If I want to have time at hand, I have something big. And I do not have to spontaneously and panic buy something and find something. I have a certain selection. And in addition to that, I have my loose bricks. And that gives me so much peace of mind that at all times, I am prepared. Whatever next level of COVID can come, I am prepared, not for years, but
well, we don't want it to come, but we know what you mean.
Right.
We want to preface that we're not encouraging it. We want to discourage it.
That's definitely a thing where mocking comes in, because you've got all of these bricks, so you can just build kind of whatever you want, as long as you've got. Well, yeah, you can build whatever you want, really.
Yeah.
And it's interesting what Chris said, because I've started reassessing my backlog. Like, I've got sets that I've really wanted to build, but now I'm like, well, when am I going to build it realistically? Like, should I? It's just going to hang around doing nothing. Shall I sell it? And yeah, thinking about like my unopened ones and my Ziploc bag collection as well. Yeah, so I'm slowly starting to sell off sets because I can see that I'm not going to build that realistically.
Yeah.
For
Yeah, and
however
it's a
long.
choice,
isn't
and
it? I mean,
it's wise to do that. And
go on.
it's just that the topic in itself, I'm really struggling with YouTube content I could create. And one of the topics that I come back to over and over again is the topic of there is a term that quite a lot of people like to use is pile of shame. I really hate that.
Yeah.
Lego sets in box is not pile of shame.
No, I would
It's-
never call it.
I've heard Mountain of Joy, if that's the opposite.
Yeah. Because you can, if you buy a set and you, for whatever reason, don't fancy it anymore, you can either part it out if you are into mocking, or you give it a next home and
Yeah,
either
exactly.
give it away,
Pass it
sell
on
it.
to somebody. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then, yeah, Barracuda sort of there. How much Lego is a COVID Lego proportionate level?
It's interesting. Sorry, I apologize. And with the backlog, because just having this discussion has made me think. Because I look over and I've got quite a few sets, and I had the same mentality as Chris before I moved. Is I kept it down. I built my backlog. I shopped my backlog for months. I bought nothing, and I was like, I'm just going to build what I've got. And then I look up and I see all these sets, and so I'm setting myself a challenge. So I'm going to put them all on my bed and take a photo of them, and then that is literally I'm going to shop my sets, because actually, you know, if I keep in mind that there are friend sets that are amazing that have come out that, you know, I love, but like Chris, I'm going to wait for a discount. Like, and if it doesn't get a discounted level, let it go. Like, at the end of the day, it's beautiful, they're amazing, but if I want it later on down the line, I'll buy it secondhand. I'll find it, you know, I'll find it on Vinted or Facebook Marketplace or something. If not, it doesn't matter. There's going to be another 100 things come along later on down the line that will be equally as exciting, and I'll be happy with that. But it's built. I want to kind of not hold myself accountable to the backlog, but give the backlog its due, what it deserves. Because sitting up there on a shelf, you know, gathering dust, that's not doing it justice. I've purchased that. I wanted it at that point, so I want to be able to build it and enjoy it.
Yeah, you bought it for a reason, right? And the reason's not to sit in a cupboard or on a shelf.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And everyone has a different line to cross. For me, it would be if my Lego room gets too small for me, I set myself the boundary of I will never rent a storage room. Because then if I bring it to a different place, it's out of my life. I know myself, I will not go over there. And then I can go to the Lego.
And you're paying to store that. So your Lego is costing you money then to keep it.
Yeah. Yeah, like a monthly amount as
you're
well.
being charged to have it.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, it's ironically enough, this stream started out that trying to solve that exact problem. It's sort of like there's a number of sets which I have there. It's like I'm just gonna, if I'm doing a weekly stream consistent, it's sort of like forcing yourself to sort of sit down and do it, take the time, enjoy it, whatever.
Absolutely.
And then over time, it's become more of, you know, a regular group of people catching up and enjoying that sort of aspect of it. Because yeah, much the same sort of thing. It's like you purchased it, it's sitting there. It's like this doesn't really make any sense. So try to sort that out somehow.
Matt, just shortly, Craig said something very important. I apologize for everyone who has a storage place for good reasons, judging on their own definition of it. Totally fine for you. It's just my limitation of that would be a line not to cross. It's that would be counterproductive and wouldn't work for me. So
Yeah,
for everyone who has one, I'm happy for you.
Right.
For different things and that there. And what was it there? Yeah, did that. And so is there one set left to make in this penultimate episode? Yeah, it's probably the Indiana Jones one. Like, it's still coming. So this time I didn't have to worry about a thumbnail, or the box picture. It's just, I'll put up a big penultimate episode there as such. And I think just getting back to something you were saying there, Nicole, in terms of making YouTube videos and things like that, the thing which I've really started to see, and it's probably obvious once you think about it, but some people are a bit slower than others, myself included. Some people are content creators and use Lego as a vehicle to make content, and other people are into Lego and then just make videos about Lego. I think there's quite a difference there. So I think if you're beating yourself up, I haven't done these videos, blah 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 blah. It's sort of like, well, if you're primarily interested in Lego, then that's kind of a secondary thing, and if you get to it, you get to it, and if you don't, you don't, sort of thing.
Do you think? Do you think some YouTubers and social media influencers, do you think if they've built up a huge following, do you think they're under pressure to buying a set day one? That may not be in LAN or anything like that, but they get so pressured into buying a set because they've got to look up to date.
Yeah,
that's
a combination of.
I think that you should never be forced to buy a set.
No, agreed.
Lego sets can wait.
Is that not self-applied pressure though, right?
Yeah, but it depends also on what the content is based on. If they are content people who, as Jake would hate them to be, reviewers, then I guess you would have to stay on top of what's current. But if you are like Brick Science or someone, and he's just creating content around Lego in a different way, then obviously he doesn't have the pressure of having to buy those sets day one.
I'm asked this question. Obviously, I don't want to name people, but I remember the build up to Gringotts, and obviously people in the YouTube space know that I love Lego Harry Potter, and it kind of felt one or two other YouTubers were mentioning that. Oh, I bet you're going to get Gringotts day one, and that I did, right? But what happens if I didn't? And that made me feel like I'm expected to buy it now.
Yeah.
Based on somebody speaking a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I did.
But
and I'm like, no, I might do, but don't, and then I don't.
But I think there is a difference between me as a kind of content creator, but I don't care about how many people like my video. I hope not many hate it. That's the only thing. But whether I get 20 likes, 30 likes, or 50 likes doesn't make a difference to me. I have a feeling the algorithm might have a hand in it, but I don't care about the algorithm. I don't really do anything to improve my algorithm. For someone who is really a professional content creator who makes a living of it, I could imagine that these guys really take a close look to the algorithm and they know, okay, if I don't do it day one, but day 30, the algorithm will do that to me, so I can leave it. It doesn't make sense. I'm not sure if that's true, but they really know when to buy it and when it's worth it.
I think there's definitely... Oops, sorry, Matt, go for it.
Yeah, I think when you're doing it as a full-time sort of thing, it's your job and you have to be sensitive to that. Like when anybody has a job in general, there's going to be things that you don't like to do with your job, but you just have to. Now, how you set, I think as a content creator who's doing that full-time, how you set boundaries around that, I think you're going to have a bit of play. And you can sort of see when people, particularly make the step from hobbyists doing it a lot to actually, either getting into land or going full time and things like that. sometimes you can see their content does struggle a little bit because they've got to figure out where that is. And then sometimes they get to the point and go, I don't like doing reviews, or I only like doing the live streams or the hauls or whatever it is, their own sort of thing. So, and there is certainly a certain amount of, people, and I think we've commented before, like we'll have one or two of our go-to content creators, like, for some technical stuff, I'll go to, Racing Brick and things like that. And Chris has said that he'll go to certain people, and, we all have within our things. And then we might watch one or two other ones, but generally we don't watch too many of them. So, yeah, if you're not hitting that sweet spot, or as we sort of said, I think on one of the other streams, it's like maybe after we got the set or a year later, we might revisit it or something, but that's going to be a small minority. So I think that's different in that regard, that you might not be enjoying it, but that's the same thing. There might be parts of your job you don't enjoy, but it puts food on the table. So, get over it, deal with it, move on.
And I think there's... I think we might say the same thing, but there's definitely a difference between people that do it as that's their income and people who do it as something on the side, whether they're making money off of it or not. And it's definitely something that I do remind myself, like having spoken to someone recently, to not get caught up in all of it. Like the reason I got into this is because I like Lego, and so I'm wary of going too far down like content creation and all of that, because that's not what I got into this for. That's kind of a byproduct of it.
It's easy to get carried away.
Worst enemy. Yeah.
People get carried away and obsessed with some of the numbers and the stats. Like,
yeah,
you start to think, like, what do
why.
I do? And I'm like, I took myself a step back. I was like, what's the point? I'm here for, I like Lego. And
I think that's it. What's the point? I think that's a really important question. Like, what is the point? Like, why am I doing this? Like, does it matter that an extra 50 people like this post compared to another one? Like,
and there's always going to be people who dislike stuff as well. There's always going to be people who just want to have a negative comment for the sake of it, right? So you just got to ignore it and just do what you think is right for you and makes you happy at the end of the day. And if you come across in the right way, people will still like it.
It happened to me. So when I started Twitch, I bought all the latest sets and would build them, and up in the top corner I'd have the viewer count, and I'll be building and I'll be looking up at the top corner and keeping an eye on the things and going, oh, this isn't working, so I tweak things. And then I thought, do you know what? No, I need to dial back, take that pressure off myself and build for the sake of enjoying it. Like if I'm building, like I'm not making, huge bucks from what I'm doing. It's not an income. It is an income source of somewhat, but it's not my primary income. So
it's not paying all your bills.
Exactly. So for me, it doesn't pay. It doesn't pay anything. But for me, it was a case of I was getting too focused, and I burnt myself out because I was focusing on I need to do this because this is what will drive me to get more. And you go through it and you beat yourself up about it. It's like, I need to change. And I was like, do you know what? No, I don't. I dialed it back. I build what I want. And one of the things I take pride in is people will obviously come and they'll say, oh, are you going to get this latest set? And it's just like, eventually, I'm not building it. Some sets I build, might be 2-3 years old. I don't care. I want to build it, and I'm going to build it on stream, and I'm going to have fun with it. And I really don't care if it is going to have 5, 2, 20, 100. I don't care. I'm building it because I want to build it. And if people want to come along and they want to hang out, that's brilliant. And if they don't, I'm still going to build it and enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, with me, as I've pointed out, my channel was always about me documenting building Lego. For me, first and foremost, it's for me. So I can go back in 10, 20, 30 years, look back and see what I've done. And the happy byproduct of that is that I've now joined this community of people. And to be fair, the viewers and stuff, that's not what I'm here for.
No.
I didn't really know much of the AFOL community until I kind of came into the YouTube space, and that's where I discovered stuff here. And that's, as I say, that's the happy byproduct. byproduct of me coming into YouTube and doing this for myself. And and to be honest, that to me is more valuable than getting the 20,000 views and all that stuff. So so yeah, having you guys on screen is much more of a reward, I'd say, than ever getting like subtitles and stuff.
Guys, did you hear that? We are more worth than 20,000 likes.
Yeah. If you all go and like my videos, thank you very much.
That's a huge compliment, I'll accept that. I'll take that.
That's right. I'm exactly the same as Martin there. I'm here for people, community. That's it. And I like it when I was on, what was it, back in August, when I was invited to be on this stream. I was like, Matt, you sure? I've got 4 subscribers on YouTube. I've got like Instagram. I don't even know because I don't really look. But I was like, don't I have to have a group of followers to do this? But no, and that's why I like the stream, because I think it is generally about community. It's about people. Doesn't matter how many numbers I've got. Doesn't matter what if I create content. And that's why I like the stream, because I feel like Matt wants me on here for me, for who I am, and that's great. And that's why it's a marriage made in heaven being on this stream. It's great, and that's just like MADLIB. I'm here for people. We had about 10 people on here not too long ago. That was great. That's the reward for me. Not 50,000 likes in 2 seconds after uploading such and such. It's numbers. It's just nothing really to me. It's people is.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. And the community is what makes you come back each time and be in the chats, be on the stream, hang out with people. And that for me is, I'm so blessed as a part of this community to be invited onto people's streams and things. And I would try my utmost to try and facilitate as many offers as I get. Sometimes I do have to, if I'm busy and such, because we've all got lives, but I feel so humbled to be asked. I will always try and do it if I'm asked, because as you said, Chris, it's like when Greg invited me onto London Calling, I didn't have any social media, nothing at all. I had nothing. I was just a person in the chat, and I super chatted Greg a few times to just go, keep doing what you're doing, because I feel like, doing a good turn deserve, and I was trying to, give him something to say thank you for all he was doing. And then he just invited me on, and then it just kind of started from there. And I always hold that very close, because I didn't have any social media. I wasn't online. I didn't have anything, but someone still wanted to invite me onto a stream and to have, my viewpoints and ask my advice and things and get my view on things. And for me, that was very humbling. And every single person that talks to me in chats, asks how I'm doing, invites me onto a stream, you never lose that humbleness to be like, I'm so grateful, like of course I will, like if I can I will. Definitely. It's just it's just indicative of our community and how awesome it is.
I think that's always been the thing, is you have to start somewhere, and somebody generally, much the same as invited you on or something like that, and you've gone, really, am I up to this or whatever else? And there's always the self-doubt and all the rest of it. And I try to do this a little bit. What?
That's me after in the green room, mate. That's I have to tone down on live streams, because after live streams I truly open my mouth and people do regret it.
Mark, you have to teach me that. I haven't mastered that yet. I say things that I should leave for the green room, but maybe for season 2 I will.
I will teach you the ways. I will teach you the ways of being PG, and then once the green room is fine, your filter can come on.
Mnrk, you can't do that because I won't have like a whole hour clip full of the wonderful.
Yeah, that would be depriving everyone of a constant source of entertainment.
And on that note, unfortunately, it's going to be the pumpkin hour for Lady MacBrick. I know that she's they're always an hour in front of us, and she has a bit of travel for work and stuff in the morning. So always great to have you on and get your opinions and things like that, and make good content for our little clip sessions. I mean, highlights. Is there anything that you've got coming up on your socials? I think you've got your Instagram tomorrow with Sir Awesome Fishy.
Theoretically, that would be the case, but I have a favor to ask from every one of you. Fishy, and I will not say her actual age. She looks 18, so she is 18. Maybe 21, but not older than that. Anyway, did I just say I will talk myself into trouble anytime if I open a mouth? Oh, please. I should leave. No. It was her birthday yesterday, so we won't stream tomorrow. But if you miss us, go over to Sir Awesome Fishy, wish her a very, very belated birthday, and say hi from me.
Okay, yeah, we'll definitely do that. And I think a little bit like what we were saying a bit earlier, she must have about the same age as what TJ or something from what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please, if you go over to her, please tell her explicitly. I said she looks like she's 21.
Yeah, definitely. We'll say that, and then it's like if we didn't do this, Nicole said that she was going to come over and do
stuff. I have a favor to ask before I leave. I will show you this, and then I really like this Mech. I'm not really into Mechs, but that's a good one. I really enjoyed that one.
That's really cool. Do the knees bend? This is an important factor for me.
No. Maybe once, but not really.
Once and then they're broken.
Need to get that in there. But DJ has a Mech. How's it rate? Quick.
No, those ones are for kids, so I think that's why they don't have the knees bend.
Yeah. But it spins.
Yeah, that piece is really cool.
Yeah.
You're waiting for. Okay, yeah, it's one of those blades. So like, just wait for it to slow down long enough. Okay, that's what it is.
Doesn't cut off
Motorize it
fingers.
for a fan.
Right.
Yeah, well, that would be amazing.
But I have a favor to ask before I leave.
Another one.
Yeah, another one. Women.
We can't say that, Nicole, but you can.
You can.
But you need to take me off and put Martin on the big screen, because my favor is asked to Martin.
Oh.
Please tell me
Hi,
who's
Martin.
the guy in the suit behind you.
Oh,
that one.
Tom Hardy.
Oh, the guy in the suit. Oh,
I
sorry.
know that is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's Tom Hardy, yeah.
Tom Hardy. I was distracted the whole evening.
Yeah.
If you got nervous because I stared at you, trust me, I.
Thanks. Yeah.
It wasn't you, Martin. It wasn't you.
I'm just a sack of potatoes over here. I'm nothing.
Everyone's a sack of potatoes compared to Tom Hardy, surely.
Yeah. So next week, behind Martin, it'll be a giant poster, maybe a life-size cutout of Tom Hardy. So we'll only be looking in one direction all stream.
You'll be tagging Tom Hardy in next week's promo.
The demographic will change drastically.
Well, funnily enough, when I did stream number 36, that had a massive spike, and I think that's because it's like 36 weeks pregnant, so everybody was searching for the 36 weeks. Because I looked at my search terms, it's like, why is this stream gone phenomenally well? And then I look, oh, most of it's coming from search, and the search term is 36 weeks. It's like, okay. Like, so anyhow, yeah, strange demographics. I can't segue out of that. Always great to have you, Nicole. And yes, we'll go over and say to Sir Awesome Fishy, happy birthday and all that. And yeah, hope that you have a good week.
Thank you for having me, and hopefully see you soon. See you next week latest. Thank you very much. Be good. Bye.
Bye. So I guess the only Martin, I think, was the only one we didn't directly do the question to, but I think you sort of covered a little bit in a comment before. But anyhow, I'll give you the chance. How has your sort of like buying habits and things changed over the short time that you've been doing this? Or
well, I've always, I mean, I have enjoyed Lego for longer than just this past 6 to 12 months. You know, I've had Lego. I had Lego sets from the Force Awakens wave when that came out and stuff, and you know, so, and I've got like the Death Star and stuff. So I've had some big pieces, but very sporadically, not very like regularly. And then, as I say, this year I kind of was like, right, I really want to kind of get into Lego a bit more. I'm really enjoying it, and so yeah, my spending this year was ridiculous, as it is when I think most people just start off. But the problem, I think my problem is, it's not that I'm just silly with money, which is a problem, but it's not my that's not the only problem. My problem is I have so many like fandoms which Lego cover, and that's where I, you know, I'm not going to regret what I buy because I like so much of what they do. Unfortunately, you know, I you know, I've read and watched all the Harry Potters. I love the Marvels, and I'm a comic book fan. I'm a big Star Wars fan, have been since I was a small kid, and my uncles kind of gave us the first toys and stuff to play with. You know, so they do cover a lot of the stuff that I'm really interested in. And then I also like, you know, I do like stuff like from like Mark does, stuff from Japan and Eastern cultures, like manga and anime and stuff. I'm very much into that. I'm very much into film. So anything film based, Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, you know, all these great things that they keep bringing out on these ideas.
All the thoughts.
I'm just going, oh my God,
At the
everything.
moment.
I just can't, like, yeah. So it's just everything's coming out, and I'm just like, I need it all. So yeah. With that being said, obviously I have spent a lot this year, and say with Star Wars, and I've said this before, one of my aims was to try and get one of every vehicle, and then if they do bring out ones that are very similar, another playset X-Wing, for example, I'm not going to bother with that because I've got one. I'm happy with the one I've got, and it'll be the same. Like if they bring out another Death Star, which is like a rehash of the one that I've got, I'm not going to bother, even if they do put new techniques into it, because I'm very, very happy with the one I have already. And even if they did rehash it, I think I'd probably not like it as much, because I do like the fact that that one is very blocky in the way that it's built. You know, the way that it doesn't have all those smooth round edges and stuff on it. I like the fact that it is from its time and doesn't have all the elements that you now have. So I like it for its original features. So things like that, you know, if they ever brought out another, say in 10, 20 years, they brought out another Gringotts or another Diagon, I'd never bother with it. I'd be like, no, I've got it. I'm fine. I'm done. So, yeah. So I only really need one of everything, but I want one of everything. So
we only need 2 Gringotts. We need 2 Gringotts. Come on.
Need 2 yeah.
We will get a second Gringotts in the next.
What we need to do is get lots of those base places and then create that big underground section.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. Yeah.
To do it that way.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think like this year, I mean, the Star Wars sets that are coming out are going to be great. So, Yeah, they're like they're really tempting. But I do need to kind of keep an eye on things and just be like, right, is it going to drop in price? That's what I'm going to question first. Is it going to drop in price? And if it is, which a lot of sets do, then it's all right holding off until later on. And I think with me, I'm going to wait until towards the latter half of the year to kind of see what's on those retirement lists and what I really want to get before going crazy on day one buys. So yeah, I mean, there's still gonna be a couple, but yeah.
It'd be a bit more in moderation. And just in the private chat there, TJ's stomach is starting to rumble and everything like that, so he's mosey on along. I appreciate the time difference and everything like that, and great to have you on, TJ, and certainly
great to be on.
That's new Dragonstone Temple set that came out. Just sort of looked at that, and I think even in the private group chat or whatever, I think Ollie was quite quick to pick up on, or somebody was, and it's like, that's
it looks great. It took me a while to realize it's even a dragon as well. I don't know how I missed that.
So
it looks brilliant.
It's you look at it, so like that's kind of like mock level rock work sort of thing, but in a good way. It's like Ninjago doing that, and just like that's killing it between that and all the other ones. So I'm sure.
Oh, sorry, but
no,
I was going to say, because it came out like a day or two after Tech was having a meltdown about rock work. And I was like, that would probably help him out.
After the convention. So anyhow, TJ, it was great having you on. Great to have you stick around for a bit, and always loved it when you popped on for the Ahsoka recaps and everything. Is there anything else you just want to give a quick plug, or tell us how?
I'll show what I built today.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
It's a Mandalorian spider droid.
Oh, cool.
Room for a fig inside to be kidnapped. Yeah, it's a decent build. Yeah. And then there's little rubber pieces in here to give the legs some bending action. It's pretty nice. It's of course not entirely accurate to the show, but it's still a nice build. And I think I'll keep this built for a little while, but eventually it's going to get parted down. Too many good parts. And
do you know what though? That would make, if you were ever doing a Ghost in the Shell mock, that would be good for the. Oh, that's cool.
And then goes helmet as well.
The
reason to just buy the set is this fig's at least half the price. There is also the Darksaber as well.
And that
took it out of the hand so it would focus.
Is that the only set with the Darksaber?
No, it's also in the Fang Fighter.
Is that that's the new shape of the Darksaber? Is that the flat one that they've got?
Yeah, blade one.
Because who knows how many sets that's going to be in now, right?
I'm sure it'll come in at least one of the rumored summer sets.
Destroyed now, isn't it?
Maybe. We'll see. Yeah.
So that's the point.
Me, let's see what's coming up. At my usual Monday night streams at 7 Central, I moved the set, but I'm going to be building Cole's mech to go with those other two. So I have Kai's and Sora's. I built Kai's mech on the last stream. I might as well get it. Pretty nice little build here. It also has a villain mech as well. So the cost is $30 rather than $20. But it's pretty nice. They did a good job. It's limited posability because it's for kids, but it's still pretty nice. I like seeing the progression of mechs, and you can mix them around as well. So you can switch out the arms, switch out the legs, switch out the weapons, and I'll probably be doing that once I get all three, kind of test it out. So and then also plug for Friday Night Bricks, which I am sometimes on there. I believe it's some sort of anniversary. I think it's 300 episodes. But yeah, some sort of anniversary tomorrow night. So yeah. And then also Lub on Bricksmith's channel on Wednesday nights. And Well, actually, no, not this upcoming week, but the week after.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, and then as Amberlia mentioned earlier, the releases streams that we do. Yeah, we just did the February releases, which is up on her channel, and then once March rolls around or gets closer, we'll cover the March releases, which is going to be a bit bigger. It'll be like January, where it's just pure chaos.
Pure chaos with everything.
Yeah. Yeah, we had to like roll through everything really quickly, and then there were, I think, 3 or 4 themes that we just missed entirely because there was so much. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good to in those streams, as sort of commented a bit earlier, so because they do have so much, and you can kind of lose track of certain things, and at least, I don't know, see some of them, and it's like, okay, I'm just going to go on to Keeper and select, okay, I'll set a threshold for once the price drops, and 6 months time it'll tell me. So won't have to think about it. But, yeah, brilliant. All right, then. Yeah, again, great to have you on, and hopefully we'll see you down the line somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. See you guys.
See you, mate.
Bye.
Nope. And then with that, so I think we managed to get through everyone and sort of what they're sort of changing and things like that. One thing which sort of did pop out of it, excuse me, is in terms of sometimes dismantling sets and things like that. Just wondering how many people sort of then either sell sets on or like eBay things, or how does that sort of come into anybody's thinking process?
I don't sell. Everything I don't sell any of it.
No,
But
okay.
literally, that for me, when I purchase it, I don't have any intentions of getting rid of it. So that might change down the line, but I don't. For me, I buy to own. I don't. I was tempted at the beginning, especially because when you see sets on sale, you just think, God, if I store that away, but I don't have any space to do that. So that kind of changed. And a couple of sets that I did buy to hold back, I ended up just being like, I can't afford to use up real estate in my place to store it, so I just opened them and pieced them all out. But yeah, for me, it's I don't have any intentions of selling any of it.
I didn't buy with the intention to
No.
sell, but I've definitely sold. Well, I sold you one, in fact.
Yeah,
But,
I was going to say, I've definitely sold.
Yeah.
I can verify that.
It's only like, it's usually if, I don't know, if I need a bit of money, or I'm assessing like what I've got in my collection. It's like, well, I haven't touched that for 6 months. I'm not going to do anything with it for ages. I'm not also not going to part it out necessarily, because someone else could enjoy it more than me, and I can get a bit of money back to then go and buy some more Lego with it, basically. But I'll usually try and sell to friends if I can, so I don't feel I don't feel like I'm ripping anyone off or anything like that. And yeah, it's quite a nice reason to. And they're just quite nice to.
I can verify you don't rip people off. Ollie doesn't rip people off. Yeah. He doesn't. You get good mates rates. You do.
That was a good trade. That
I've actually got 2 of these. The ones I've just built, the DB5, and I think that's because when I bought it, it was on offer in August. You know when they do the 2 for something, 2 for
yeah.
And I didn't see anything else I wanted, so I bought 2, and I thought, oh well, I can keep one. And then the only other things I've got doubled up is things like GWPs, which because I've been smart about placing my orders. Do one, fill and get another basket, do another one. So so I've got a few doubles on GWPs, which because they're not very big, they can stay up there for now, and then maybe later on. I'm not really the seller in the couple, like Carl. He's on Vinted and
Vinted is amazing for Lego. Let's get it out there. Yeah. Vinted and Lego, my goodness me.
So
I need to get on that because Facebook Marketplace. Everyone's realised on Facebook Marketplace, or thinks they've realised the value of Lego and overcharges for stuff. And it's like, what are you doing? You're not going to get that much money, and if you do, you're lucky.
So when it comes down to it, like it'll be probably Carl who sells it. The only other thing I've done is I've bought boxes of minifigs and I've sold the other collection of sets to other people.
That's
normally
a clever way
price.
to do it.
Yeah. No, because it was sort of at the other point where just out of space, and there's been some sort of things and combination of space, and you look at some of it, like some of the Technic stuff and things which I built 4 or 5 years ago, and it's like built it, sat on the shelf. I enjoyed the experience of it. And it's like like they're the big ones, so it takes up a lot of room. So over time, just been selling off some of those and things, and then some of the modulars got for the experience of building, because a lot of times it's the experience of building which is what I'm interested in. I'm not so much of a collector in terms of, I want to have complete sets and things like that. Like I can turn over stuff pretty easily. But the modulars I've always found, if you get them right before they retire, usually you can build them, have them for 6 months, and then as a used set, they'll basically sell for what you paid it for, if not more. So you can at least go, okay, well, I got the experience out of it. I was able to enjoy it for a bit and then turn it over and then take that and buy the next one and then do it again.
Yeah.
So,
well, with the Technic sets, do you dismantle them? Or do you just sell them as whole sets? Because I can imagine they're painful to dismantle.
Buying the pins out of all of
No.
In the past, when I bought some Technic sets used and they've come assembled, and I mean, I'm talking like bucket wheel excavators, like 4,000 pieces of things. So they come assembled or partially assembled. And I know that one in particular because I think it took me about 3 hours to take it apart and pull all the pins because I wanted to take it apart so I could build it. And apart from the fact your fingers just killed you, but yeah, it takes. So getting to your question, I'll have it built so I can take the photo of it or the photos through like eBay, but then I'll say, it will come partially disassembled so that you can actually fit it into a reasonable size box. And I always find with that too, from when they get it at the other end, if they've got it in big chunks, then they're not going to be sitting there so much going, am I missing bits? Because it's sort of like, well, you've got the big chunks there. It's pretty obvious. And then the same thing with modulars, like the minifigs, have them separate in a bag and make sure I take photographs of them. So it's sort of like, well, I'm quietly confident you got it because I'm likely to touch wood. I haven't been scanned out of anything yet, but I'm sure at some stage that might be something which sort of comes along and happens. But no, I'm just kind of curious to see how, if you're in this for a little while, you run out of space. It's like, how do you start dealing with that? So, and I think I've just seen there, Ollie, I think you've mentioned that you're going to be dropping off in a little bit, or time to go.
Yeah, I've got to be up early in the morning tomorrow. I was just stopping in for an hour or so while my wife fell asleep on the sofa. So I was like, okay, cool, I can
You just get to sneak off there for a little bit. Brilliant, love it. No, it's great that you were able to jump in for a little bit with that. How did you get on with what you were sort of working on and what's sort of coming up on your socials?
This is what I'm working on. So I've been doing this the past week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Nice.
So we're working. I need to tweak this wave because it just looks a bit weird. But yeah, and I'm hoping to have waves crashing on this side. I'm gonna have a statue up here.
That was brilliant. Yeah, we haven't seen it since probably last week, and yeah, that's really coming along.
Yeah, because I think I was starting to figure this out. I think I got like 3 rows of rocks done, and it was if I was a bit quiet last week, it's because I was trying to figure out how to do that, and it was really fiddly. And otherwise, I'm on London Calling tomorrow. Got my debut London Calling. So excited about that. And then I've got Mark on Mock Heads on Wednesday. which I'm really excited about, even more so than tomorrow.
And that's 8:30 on Mocker.
8 o'clock on Wednesday. Yeah, 8 o'clock UK time, 3 o'clock Canada, and some places in America. And maybe just some places in Canada, because I don't know. EDT, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Figure out the different.
Yeah, that's me.
Trying to think. Yeah, figure out the different acronyms. That's the word I was looking for. It's like, what is it? Yeah. Anyhow, so okay, brilliant. Yeah, certainly look forward to that and seeing how the pearls of mocking wisdom that we can get out of Mnrk. Then.
Yeah,
that's why I'll be very careful, because I'm kind of keeping those bits, because I'm sure I'll get a question grilling. So
yeah,
I'll try and divulge some anecdotes of my limited, very basic.
Yeah, but whatever you do, don't say the word modular in the wrong.
Yeah, because I'll get all flustered and I won't know how to.
That one. I might slip the modular bit in just to trigger.
I won't bring up because Alberto said about it last week, and I was like, I'm just not gonna say anything. I think you commented as well, Matt, didn't you? Yeah, it's like, I'm gonna ignore that. Let's not get on that route.
Just move on.
Yeah, because it was sort of stream beforehand. We sort of had gripes or whatever else, and Ollie was sort of like misuse of the word modular, and then when we asked him to define it, he was sort of stumbled over a few words, and I think maybe Chris or somebody was then able to concisely put it in one sentence. Like,
I think Martin it was, because I hadn't really thought about having to actually explain what it meant. I
I say, Mark, if you want to poke both, just tell him about how modular Dr. Watt is.
I love the silence. It's just like I'm not saying anything. I am not fighting. Internally, I could just see him like, if I could swear right now.
I can't wait to get off this bloody stream.
And I snuck away from my partner. Jesus, what was it? Cool. No, we look forward to it. So, okay, and again, thanks very much for stopping by.
Thank you. And of course, actually, I'll be on next week for the final episode of the season. Of course.
Yep.
I'll be on for the full time.
Cool.
Yeah.
Brilliant. All right then.
Cool. See you later, everyone.
Later on.
Take it easy. Bye bye.
Yeah, and that might be. I know we never quite got to it. Nice little quick segue into, it says penultimate episode for season 1. That isn't a bit of clickbait or anything like that. I have decided to, I've always sort of thought of these in terms of being in seasons and things like that. And a big part of it is just got so much on that I always want to do the consistency as much as what I can every week. And I think from that, it's sort of gotten a lot of consistent people turning up in the chat and the streams and everything. But I always think of some things in your juggling stuff. And there's only so many balls you can juggle. And then when you take on one too many, they all come crashing down. And it just feels like, between work and businesses and kids and everything else, the consistency of this was just getting a bit too much. So I'm going to be taking a bit of a break for a bit, and that's why I've sort of had a lot of the different people have been on over the last year. And next episode will be number 50, which I just thought that was a nice number to kind of round it off on. And that's where everything's at with that. So I am going to miss catching up with everyone, and then when we have guests on, such as Mnrk and Fred and that, which we've had from time to time, that's going to be the real thing, which I'm sure the time when I would have done stream 51 will be like, I'm itching for chatting to people, but that's where that's all at. So yeah, alrighty then. I think we're getting up against 3 hours sort of soon, so might just sort of slowly go around, see what people sort of been finishing or working on this evening and what's coming up on their socials and everything. So maybe start off with MADLIB. How'd you get on this evening?
So very nice build. Very nice DB5.
Yeah.
Lovely looking car. I really like all those little printed pieces on the front there and the headlamps. It's just, yeah.
How are your stickers, Martin? How are they colour-wise compared to the bricks?
The grey's a little pale compared to the silver of the brick, but they're okay. They're not too far off. Not far enough where if you left it on the side, you'd be able to notice right away. That's what I would say. Yeah. So, yeah, they're pretty nice like that. And then here's a little James Bond with his wrench. So.
Does he fit inside the car when you put him in? Because my son recently built the Pagani Utopia, and as soon as you put the driver in, you can't put on the windscreen anymore. It just doesn't fit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does.
So I feel like the Pagani is just it's a bit of a disappointment.
Yeah, I've noticed with 1 or 2 of them, you have to, really
Just
sort
even
of
take the
block
hair
it
off.
Or take the hair off, or something.
You can see the vehicle, but you need to remove your hair.
You need to be bold, so I'll be all right.
He's in there. There is a little bit of a gap between his head and the top of the car, so he fits in there nicely.
I think that actually looks good because the head just comes over the windscreen as well.
Yeah, I think there's room for a second fig as well, so you can actually fit 2 in there. So,
but not a mini doll.
No, well, he's underage, so no. But yeah, and then
he shouldn't really be picking her up. She's far too young. He'll get a reputation.
Yeah, look, this little. So yeah, so this is the only friends thing that I've got, and it was a GWP.
First of many.
Mm-hmm. I just smile and nod. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We'll check back in 6 months' time.
Yeah. That's one thing I'm probably not going to get carried away with. I'm not going to lie, but I do think this little guy is so cute.
Oh, Popcorn. Yeah, Popcorn is adorable.
Yeah. But this Saturday I will be streaming again on Twitch and YouTube. Mark helped me do my first raid last week, so that was cool.
Oh, nice.
And then, I think Mark was the only person raided with it, so it was fine. Raided in, but yeah. So, so I'll be doing a stream, and I'm going to be doing the Dream sets that I bought. So it's the first time I've built any Dreams ones. So I've got the little Dreams Village, and I bought the Narwhal. So depending on how I feel, we might do both in one stream, just make it a bit longer. But yes, that's gonna be Saturday. I'll probably start around 2 again. So yeah.
Brilliant, excellent. No, it's good to hear, and be curious to see how you get on with the Dreams one, and we'll check back in 6 months and see how many mini dolls you've managed to send off to Mark.
You'll have many mini dolls, trust me.
Many mini dolls. Yeah.
Martin will be converted.
Oh, who's the one who sends you with? Is it no hair pieces?
It's quite funny because I have a mini doll adoption service that I'll happily take anybody who's abandoned mini dolls. And so Nicole is gathering hers up to send, but they will be bald, I think, because most of the hair pieces people keep. But I got some from Johanna thanks to Gordon. Gordon spoke to Johanna, so Johanna sent me hers, and so I got those. And Fab Blondie, so Liz is sending me hers. So it's just like I'll adopt any of them. I'm perfectly happy with or without hair. We're not fussed. Embrace the baldness if you want to. Keep the hair pieces, but yeah, exactly. See, Fred's got it. The thing is, because I know some of the hair pieces are super cool. So, but I'll happily adopt any mini dolls that I go in, rather than them sitting in a drawer. Because all my mocks that I take, to conventions, all of mine, I don't do minifigures, I do mini dolls. So all of my displays have mini dolls in them. So I've always got room for more.
I say Mark's going to be the first army builder of mini dolls. You know, like,
yeah.
Mummy, how come half of them are bald?
Diversity.
Well, these ones are alopecia, and this one is.
Yeah.
Okay, moving right along. Chris, how did you get on this evening, and what do you sort of got coming up?
Well, during the stream, I just built this.
Yes, I got that one. I got it, Chris. I got it yesterday.
It's amazing, and it's a better £4 off at game. This one here,
yeah,
which is great. And I have built it. Little bike. Just some nice little side builds, all printed as well. You get printed pieces, no stickers or anything like that.
Nice.
Get this, whatever that is, and
one of the creatures.
And then
it's all about the figure.
All about the figure.
Yeah.
And then Shadow, which is it's great. In regards to what's coming up, this Sunday I'm streaming with Fab Blondie, because we're co-hosts over there, and also a lady MacBrick, and then next week same again, Family Bricks, which is going to be the final episode of season 1, and Fab Blondie again. But for Thursday, I'll be for the final stream. I'll be building this.
Oh,
the other one I want to get. I love that one so much.
And yeah, £6 off. Thank you, game.
Yeah, it's. I think we've been chatting in the Instagram chat and things like that. It's like, yeah, come on, game. We know that you want to get into the Lego market and do that, because I think they did some February releases, and somewhere along the lines, I heard that at the end of February, the game won't be accepting trade-ins anymore.
No,
so
they're stopping.
Yeah, so obviously they're pivoting in some direction. So yes, we as AFOLs will love you to do more discounts day one. That's brilliant.
Yeah. Carry on, game.
Make sure the cashback services to get the extra savings too if you buy online. Although then you have to pay the shipping, which is a bit of pain.
Yeah, £5. But apparently, if you pay the £5, you get an in-store voucher, so you get it back in a way. Yeah, I suppose.
Do you? Okay, I better check that out because I didn't. So
neither did I.
Customer
service. That's what the game said to me. You pay £5, but you for like click and collect, and then you get it back, but you use it for in-store. That's what.
I guess you have to be part of the game membership then. No, do you have to be a loyal member or not?
I didn't say that bit. But I think I've got a membership anyway.
I have a membership, and the membership's really cool because I don't know if you've got the elite. Is it the elite one you've got, Chris?
I can't remember.
It's like £3 a month or something.
Oh no, I don't. No, I got a card, but I don't think I actually might be a member then. No, because I don't pay anything a month.
So I pay £3 a month, but essentially I treat it like almost like a savings account, because what you don't. So the Game Elite thing, again, I'm not trying to promote game because they're about to get rid of a lot of the stuff they do, but essentially like it's Game Elite. One of the things we got were double points on Lego purchases, and they add up what you save during the year, and if it doesn't equate to how much you've spent on the membership, you get it all back in credit. So they give you what you haven't achieved in credit. So most of the time I get back enough to buy the next game that I want to buy. So I just use it as a saving scheme, and then at the end of the year they just give it back to me in credit, and I've paid £3 a month into a savings bond essentially, and then I just spend it on the game at the end of the year.
Get in there. Yeah, because I looked at getting some stuff online, and the postage, you're just sitting there. I don't know what it is. It's in your head. You object to it. It's like, no,
you just got to buy enough. You just got to buy enough to make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
Well, that's the sort of thing. And then afterwards, I'd done the cash back, And yeah, that at least started to eat into it, because I think it was a healthy like 4% or something. So when you're used to dealing with like 1%, like it's kind of like
you should use complete savings to get like 10%.
Do you?
Yeah.
What's complete savings then?
You can't really sign up for it. You know, sometimes you see like you check out at Argos or like John Lewis, you see like say 1567 something. Yeah, pops up. It looks a bit scammy. And it's like it says, you have to pay a fee, but there's so many advantages on it. It's like Argos. I think there's quite a lot of retailers, like even like Domino's pizzas, but you want to make sure you order from somewhere that you order every month, because then you can waiver the £15 of a fee every month that way. But they also do like vouchers, like you can buy £100 Argos vouchers every month for 80 quid. And most of the cashbacks on everything is 10% or more. So it's really worthwhile. So, and the payout is almost instant. Within like a week or two, you get paid. It's not like the other ones where you have to wait 3 months. So,
and then they figure out, oh, you're denied.
No, I've had pretty good success rate, and it's really good.
So what was that? That was complete, you said?
Complete savings, but you can't sign up for it on their website. You have to have bought something through a retailer to get that offer to then sign up on it. So that's why you want to make sure you sign up somewhere that you're going to use regularly. eBay often has it. So if you buy something on eBay every month, or if you're a regular at Domino's Pizza or something like that, you will see Argos has it as well. I think John Lewis has it. Some retailers just show it, and it looks like it's things like, why would I pay for it? But it's really worth it.
Okay, yeah, no, if as you're saying, if you're getting £100 Amazon or Argos vouchers for 80, that by itself.
Every month. So it's,
every month.
Every month you can do 100 quid's worth for 80 quid. So it pays for itself, and you get the higher cashback rates across everywhere. So
That's
it's pretty much
insane.
pretty much
Free
10%
money.
everywhere. It is. It's the fact that they pay out so quickly as well. It's really good. Like within 2-3 weeks, you get your money after like you bought something. So
that's like, well, with PlayStation, I never buy PlayStation vouchers or pay for the membership directly. I always go to Shop 2, because they've always got discounts on the money vouchers. So I pay for the wallet, put it in, and obviously, and then that pays for the membership and everything. So I always do that, and you always get the higher the wallet payment, the more discount you get. So so I always do that on shop2.net and just buy the money, get free money, because and then put it in my wallet, and then I buy the stuff off PlayStation. On the PlayStation Store.
You also get the Lego website on there with 10%, but you never see the offer on the Lego website. So unfortunately, you never can sign up through Lego. But
Lego just like no.
Yeah, the only thing you got to watch out for is when it's like a release day and it goes into your queue, then it doesn't tend to track. So you want to make sure when you go through, you don't go through the queue, because the queue kind of refreshes the page and it kind of forgets where it came from.
Yeah. Okay. Well, when you said that you don't see it on the Lego page, it's like you sometimes don't see Lego on the Lego page.
You would think after all these years, prepare for the hype, because people are going to go in there and it's like they can't cope with it and it crashes every time. It's like, come on, Lego, get your act together. Really? You've had years of practice of this now.
It's a war of attrition, or that's how you earn your stripes as an AFOL. It's like, oh yeah, and did you get through? No, not really. And it's particularly after
5,000 in the queue.
That's a rant by itself.
And then it's like, do you want to play a game, but you only got 20 seconds to complete a game that would take a minute?
Yeah.
It's like you can never complete it. Like add to the frustration.
I didn't get my stuff, and I didn't even get to finish my game. No, that's okay. The complete one, I have to keep an eye out for that, because that sounds like I've missed a trick with that.
It's a game changer, yeah. But you can't sign up for it just going through the website, which is the annoying bit. It doesn't feel like a bit Ponzi schemey if I look at it externally, but hey, I've got more money back than I paid into it, so whatever happens, I'm good.
No, it's the sort of thing, and you need to see that. Okay, well, somebody else has said that they've done it, so maybe there's hope yet. Okay. And Mnrk, how did you get on with your build and what's coming up on your socials?
So loads and loads of minifigures built. The ones that I call out are the these ones from the Lego Movie 2. I've got the they're gonna come on.
Nice.
The singers. I've got those and hundreds of them. Like my desk is full of them. Thankfully, all the pieces are here, but I've got the I've got Ninjago movie. I've got the Marvel ones. I've got the Looney Tunes ones. I've got the collectible CMF. I've got some of the BAM figures. I've just got loads and loads of them. And thankfully, all the pieces are here. So, but I've got like 50, 60 of them on my desk, all different ones.
Okay, and brilliant. And what's sort of coming up on your socials and things?
So, like Ollie, I'm on London Calling tomorrow. And then I've got my stream on Sunday on Twitch, 2 p.m. So that's 2 p.m. GMT and 9 a.m. EDT. My normal Twitch streams on a Sunday. I don't know what I'm building yet. Oh no, I do know what I'm building. I do. It's part 2 of Autumn's House. I'm building that. So that will be what I'll be doing on Twitch. And then the following Wednesday, I will be with Gaz and Ollie on Mockheads. So I'm going to be their guests. So that's going to be fun. And I'm also going to debut my Bricktastic mock. I'm sending them photos. So they'll be showing off the Bricktastic mock the first time anyone's seen it. It'll be on there. It'll be debuting on there.
Ooh, they've got a bit of a exclusive.
They have. They've got the exclusivity to it. Yes. So they'll be getting the high resolution photos. So I'll be able to talk about it then. You'll be able to all see it. And then of course you go into Bricktastic, you get to see it in person.
In person there. So everybody else will be getting the Lego land leaky type blurry, can barely make it out, and they're looking at the side of it from upside down.
I'm going to make sure to smear butter on my camera to take a photo of it, so it's a true Lego leak photo.
Yeah.
You've already passed it across the brick clicker, haven't you? He's on top of it.
I've not. No.
Of course not.
No. Oh, he's received. No, sorry. Carry on.
He's got there. Okay. We'll just go on to Fred, and you can sort out the details with him. So
he's wiring me the voucher now. No, he isn't.
Always great to have you on. And Fred, how'd you get on this evening? And what's coming up?
I built some Lego actually. I finished off building the final piece of the Viking village. So the rest is in my living room. So quite pleased to manage to build all this during the stream. So yeah, it's really pleasing build. Got to keep this minifigure intact before the dog sees it. But yeah, we are one Viking down, by the way. He's not survived. So yeah, no, it's really good. And you mentioned earlier like what people do with like sets to break down. Like my son, he builds Lego sets on his channel as well, and then I take them, or my wife takes them apart, and I put them in my Bricklink store. So it means he gets to build a lot of Lego. So yeah, he enjoys that, and I'll keep these ones for display for a while as well, and probably will eventually take some stuff apart as well. Allows me to buy more Lego, and my son more Lego to build as well. So that's how we kind of manage it. But yeah, in terms of things, I'm not very active on YouTube at the moment. I've been going more live on a new platform called Whatnot. Absolutely love it. Not sure if people are familiar with it yet. But yeah, great place to kind of find minifigs. So I've got some really cool minifigs from it already from other people. So some I've got is like Deadpool.
Oh, nice.
Probably recognize this guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, these are like excellent condition. So it's a really, I think it's pretty new for Lego in the UK, but I think it's gonna take off pretty big style. And yeah, I've been busy with that quite a lot. I haven't got anything scheduled on there, but I'm also gonna be at the London Brick Festival on the 18th. And then I'm going to first time take my mock, my Ender Speeder Chase mock to one of the shows. And I think it's with the other new guys, the the National Brick events on I think the 25th of February in Ipswich. So that's going to be a challenge, taking a mock there and see how that goes. I'm kind of dreading it, to be honest, but yeah, you never figure it out there.
Horror
how it's
stories, mate. Trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me. I've been there, done it. I've got horror stories of it.
Oh,
Just
great.
package it well.
You're filling me with confidence.
Yeah.
Trust me, package it well, and be prepared to have to do some emergency repairs, because inevitably it's going to happen. Just something will come loose.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that'd be okay. It's just the time it will take, and I just. And it's quite delicate. It needs to be a really flat surface. If not, the train gets stuck underneath. So that's what I'm really dreading.
Just take little bits of cardboard to be able to prop stuff up, like little things. Just out of interest because I've there's a number of people I've followed on the Americans, and they've been doing Whatnot for a couple of years. How have you found? You've obviously done a couple of streams.
Yeah.
How do you find it in terms of, like, if you're selling a minifig, the system or how it interacts in terms of once you've sold it, then knowing, like, okay, this has to go to whatever person it is and dealing postage and that
very
stuff.
easy. There's like a thing afterwards where it shows like shipments, and it tells you, but it all depends how you list them, because a lot of people just list it like minifigures, and then just minifigure 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Then it becomes more difficult, because it will tell you then when people bought it, they bought minifigure 1, 2, 3, and if you don't know what that is, it's difficult. You have to write the name. You have to write the name. I tend to write the name of the person that bought it on the poly bags. That makes it easier. Or alternatively, is like you preload your auction list with all the figures that you're going to load. So then when you come to the shipment, by person who tells you which item they bought, that's the easier way of doing it. But it's really straightforward. The only downside is that at the moment the default courier that they're using is Every, and I've already seen lots of horror stories of deliveries that people have received. But the good thing is, like, they're taking it quite serious as far as I can see, and I keep telling people just complain, and straight away they kind of refund it out of their costs. And I've actually, the general manager of Whatnot's already reached out to me from the UK. Is like, how can we help it grow? I'm like, well, stop using Every first of all, because you're not going to build the thing.
Bloody awful.
So, but you can actually do Royal Mail integration. They're working on that. We can do your own service, but then they only pay you back whatever the cost would be for Every, and they have to do it manually. So the integration is all automated. It's very easy. You just literally press generate label, and it just prints out a label. So that's why you want to use Every at the moment, but we need them to integrate something else. But the platform itself is really good. And I love the fact that, you can just sit there with music on in the evening, whatever. You're not going to get like a strike like you would get on YouTube or anything like that. Nobody cares. Nice. It's just like literally, I tend to have like a rave every Friday night in my streams. And it's great. You can just have a, quite chill time. And also, if you do giveaways, the whole thing is kind of integrated. It just does it for you. You can either do a giveaway for any of your followers or people who actually bought something during the stream. And then it literally just press the button, and people have like 5 minutes to enter, and it just automatically draws it. And then you obviously have the shipping address of what the people have signed up with. And it's really smart. I can see eBay is going to get a big run for their money, and they're going to have to watch out. And I've incidentally closed my eBay shop as a result, because I just sick and tired of eBay.
Yeah, no, I've heard lots of like proper sellers who are either migrating across, or they've been having so many problems with eBay and fees and everything like that. It's like really become a bit of an issue. I mean, we usually sort of we keep getting sent, 70% off fees or things like that. So I'm sure that will cap out at some point. But selling a few bits and pieces now and then, but occasionally have sold things when they haven't had those weekends. It's like, they're taking a good chunk out of any sale.
Yeah. Whatnot is 8% they charge, and then I think it's 2.9% plus 30p. I've already told them, look, if you guys want to be competitive, you gotta take that 30p off, and you got to go to like PayPal micropayments kind of thing, especially for what's it called, minifigures of a lower value. You're taking too much of a chunk there to be competitive. Anything below 10 quid, it is not worth it. So But the interesting thing is, like, I've had some guy reach out to me and had a one-on-one conversation with me. He's like, how can we help the category grow? So they are taking an interest in it. So they really want to do it right.
Yeah.
And they said it's not about the cost, it's about the right service. So they're saying all the right
That's
things
good.
from what I'm
That's really
hearing. And
good.
so I'm like, I keep telling them, Lego, if you deal with Lego, the best thing about Lego is their customer service, and I feel like someone that sells Lego individually, I have to keep up that brand and keep up the same sort of service level. And if you're going to be just detrimental to the brand of just damaging with every, that doesn't sit with how Lego is presented in the world.
Stand every.
So it's like, guys, you got to step it up, and you can't just do it like that, because otherwise you just ruin your own profit in the end of the day.
Yeah, you've got 99% of everything in line, but the 1% final mile is undermine everything.
And I just keep telling people, I said, complain, and everyone has complained so far as getting a refund, which is good, and I'm hoping that will trigger them to do something quicker about it.
Yeah,
because they'll hurt
just
their own pocket.
And how I know it's difficult to compare. How are you finding the prices that you achieve on Whatnot in that? Or is it a matter that you can move a lot of small items quickly?
It varies. It depends from stream to stream. I think a lot of it depends on the time as well, probably, Ron. I think I can't complain from what I'm seeing. I think the potential over time is much more than what you would get anywhere else for a thing, because people it's like auctions are like 30 seconds, right? So people just like trigger happy, like I need to get this, and they just don't think sometimes. I've seen on other streams like in America, people pay stupid prices. Go and watch MNR and Whatnot. He has like $10 figures going for like $30. I'm like, what is going on here? People are just like so obsessed, and because if you have the following,
it's the gambling aspect of it, isn't it? It's the kind of
just
just want to get it.
Some people just like, they don't necessarily understand the value, but they just want this figure. I've had some minifigures that I know are worth about £3-4 have gone for like £9. It's like, but then people just want that figure, and they think that they're not familiar with Bricklink potentially to get it somewhere else, or they just compare it to like eBay, and then they just don't trust eBay, and it's also the entertainment factor and the fact that you do giveaways and people are in it for the chance of winning a prize at the end as well if they bought something. It's all those sort of things. It's a show, really.
Yeah, it seems to be thinking that there. Okay, great. No, it's I have to pick your brain a bit more on that, because that's certainly sounds.
I've got one of my followers there, Tom the Mole. He's been buying a lot of the pug costume guy on Whatnot from me. He's got a pug. I'm like, here's another one for Tom.
In it goes. Well, it's good to see that they followed you over here. Brilliant. Okay, just wrapping up then for me. Next week will be the last stream of the season. It's shaping up again to be another sort of busy panel and everything. And I think other than that, most other things just on a little bit of hold at this stage. I do need to finish off top 5 most expensive. I think I'm halfway through that, but anyhow. Just trying to think anything else. Do the share, like, subscribe thing. I'll just have a quick little look at the poll that we had here. Just end that now. Do you like the new Star Wars microchips? Just ending that. We have,
Mine's like,
yeah. Look over there, squirrel was 10%. Meh, not my thing, was 18%. Yes, the money is spent already, 34%, and coming out on top is okay. We'll wait for a sale with 36%. So it seems most of the reception to it's been quite positive and things for reasons that we mentioned before. Just quickly, a shout out to people who are in the chat. There was a lot of people in there tonight. We had Jake, Eric, Brett, Build, Adora, Build, Vulture, Amberlia, Bove Laveau, Click and Cliff, Tasman Bricks, good to see, Solo along, 2 Gay Athols, The Mole, Polar Bricks, and there's probably some others in there which I just didn't quite get to. Redmond, Brigadier, and many more. So great with that. Anything else anybody wanted to say just before we get out of here? I forgot to say anything like that. Nope. Okay, good. I just noticed that I didn't have the ticker tape down tonight. Doesn't matter. So So
just imagine what it would have said down below.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Do I even just do that there? Okay, there we go. Penultimate.
Got to get your sponsor in. Get your sponsor run across the bottom. There you go. Got to get that in.
It's all there, and it loops back around. The quality of production. So, alrighty then. Thanks everyone. Again, we'll do it one more time next week, and hope you all have a good week, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
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 Mr. Bigger, det bliver super duper!
See ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.